Oh, you did? Excellent. That is a very nice launcher. I've been a fan of Launchbox for many years. Good stuff. Hey, Droopy. Mr. Pones, Droogie, Triple F. MCMD64. I don't know. The only place I know to get C64 stuff is generally just the Internet Archive, but if you're looking for something specific, I don't know what that would be. Mr. K, 97X. Bam! The future of rock and roll. Wasn't that the same station from Rain Man? 97X. Bam! The future of rock and roll. Let's get it started. Got a face for radio, Mr. Pones. Coming to you live from Oxford, Ohio, or somewhere in Nebraska, Mr. K, 97X. Bam! The future of rock and roll. I have been asked before, do you ever do any voice acting? Through the years, right? Through the years. You should do voice acting. You've got or radio. You've got a good voice for that. Or phone sex. I have been told I should do that too. I never did any of those things. But maybe in a different world, that could have been a different calling. Hey. All right. Good evening, everyone. So tonight, probably curate a couple of demos, but I think I was going to maybe mess around with some basic to assembler conversions of the C64 streamer piece, just to kind of see what that's like. That might be later in the evening. We'll do some open code and some Claude and see if any of them kind of work better against doing this. We'll look at some basic code and see what we can do with the assembler. Triple F. Checking in.
My 64, my Commodore 64.
64.
Of fun and fantasy and ever-changing views and computer terminology. Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping
Is this a
up
game?
with you.
Or is it real? Is this live? Or is this Memorex?
'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. In a world of high technology and
You never can tell.
ever-changing moods. In a world that's full of make-believe.
Come on, focus.
and changing
Focus.
attitudes. Are
There we
you
go.
keeping up with the Commodore?
That's one thing that's always tough to get actually working on there is the focus of that when it shifts all around. I have to pretty much rely on the autofocus on that one. You know, it's a fair question. I think the box is underneath. Let me go grab that real quick. I'm pretty sure. The bad part is I've got to waste so many lines, right? Every time there's an event, it's 4 so lines because you've got to have the dot matrix move up so that you can see it on the camera, right? What happens when I run out? I send Triple P out for more. Hello, Triple P. We got a good. It's a full box, so we're set when the time comes. I've got plenty, and I've got like 5 ribbons that have never been touched, so we're okay. I'm assuming you can, and from some places. I bought this about 3 years ago, so still available. I'd imagine you'd still be able to buy it now. I bought the ribbons about 3 years ago, so at least at some point they were still being made. Let me see if I can. There we go. Yeah. Oh, it works. Oh. Yeah, that I like how that's turned out. I have some ideas of where I want to take that, but for those that haven't seen it yet, let's take a look here. We have main PC and whoa. Drag this guy away for a second. Bucket list. Yeah, look at this. So I've gone through and I've also enabled high scores for a lot of the other games because Ace of Aces probably has a high score bit, right? So I've enabled scores for everything. The part of the problem is that I have to kind of know the game. Like I'm pretty sure Prince of Persia is more time-based, I think. I don't know that there's a score with that, right? So for every game we've got, I kind of have to figure out like what's the score for it. So for me, score type of this is, just give me 1 second. I'm sorry, that came through. I apologize. I couldn't mute that fast enough. Thank you. It's like I either have to say points higher or lower or time, and I think Persia's a time one. And if we did like a golf game, then it'd be points lower would be better, right? So you have to know the type of score. Well, it's only basically anything I've got on the bucket list. So I would have to add the platforms for each of those. And I might as time goes on, but these are more of games that I can play. Like I can't play the Nintendo ones because I don't have a Nintendo. So it's kind of more of just these themselves. But for what it's worth, better than nothing. We do have some high scores on Beachhead, C64 television coming through with that. 265,000 was a nice little screenshot of the end. So well done on that one. I didn't think my 59800 was going to be anything to like the end of the game, because I knew I died before I reached it. And then look at Adam, Commodore Chronicles coming through in Ye Are Kung Fu. I thought I did pretty damn good, but no. He beat me on that one. So the capability with the tracking of the scores, I think, is working pretty well. I'm happy with it. I am pleased with it. So bring this back over here for a second. Drop him down. Yeah, I think it is. I might add some things like, let me get the PTZ up here real quick. I might add dates and things like that. We can kind of see like the latest time they were submitted. I've got it in the database. I just don't expose it on the UI. But you know, Triple F there beating my Wavy Navy at 4260, and then I'm still at least leading on Avoid the Noid, but that's only because nobody else has played it yet. So don't play Avoid the Noid so I can keep the high rank. But yeah, with that and the Discord integration on there, which I still need to get Discord installed on this machine. So let me. Oh, that didn't work. All right, can I get? Am I logged in on Discord here? Let me log in on Discord here real quick. Discord.com. .com. Let's see, high scores bot. Yeah, so I think there we go. I think the capability to add the screenshot on there worked out well. Pretty happy with how that's generally turned out. Also publishing the screenshot on there. So yeah, as we go through some more of these games or revisit some of the other ones from time to time, we'll see if we can get some high scores on there. Kind of fun for the community. I was actually thinking too of maybe adding a link field to the database to say like where you could play it. Like if you wanted to play the C64 version, and that's one of the reasons why I put the different platforms on there, because some games are just way different or play differently if you're on a C64 versus an MS-DOS. So I really wanted to track the platforms. But I also wanted to say, well, if you didn't have an emulator, is there a way for you can play that online, like in a browser? And I think some of the games are, like I think a lot of the C64 stuff, either on Lemon or something else, you can play that in the browser. And so maybe that's a thing that look at doing. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah, Mr. Pones. The link on the Discord is down below on my Twitch about. I don't have a command for it anymore. I need to get that back up and running. But if you scroll down on the Twitch webpage, there'll be a Discord link in the about links there. Yeah, just undo it real quick and then scroll down, you'll see the Discord link. And so the High Scores bot will basically post. The idea is that you don't post scores to this channel, that you do it through the bucket list and that it will just update, right? So you don't have to post to the channel at all and try to link it to a game. You go to the game on the bucket list, bucket-list.christoph.io. You find the game that you were talking about, and maybe you say, oh, Beachhead, I want to do a new, maybe Beachhead 2, I want to submit a score. And so you go to Beachhead 2, and for the platform, which we only have the Commodore 64 one, oh, I don't edit it, that's me. I'd submit a score and I can paste a screenshot or I can just type the score in. It's honor system, obviously. I mean, there's really no reason to sit here and be like, oh, I'm just going to put 99999 on everything. I have the control to delete all of those if somebody does that. So yeah, you just enter the score in and save it, and then boop, it'll pop that up in Discord automatically. So the high score bot really is more of a you can react to scores, but to do it, you just go to the website and you log in with Twitch and add your score to whatever game, and it'll just pop up on Discord itself automatically. So, hey, there's Mr. Pones there. I'm guessing that's Mr. Pones. There's 1977 in both, so I'm saying that's Mr. Pones. Welcome. Welcome, sir. So yeah. Cool. We'll see where we take it, but I think it's kind of interesting. Maybe we'll see if there's something we can add on one of the games today. All right. Well, happy Friday. The weekend comes. Hopefully you all have something fun to do or relax at some point this weekend. For us, it's going to be in the 90s, high 90s, so very humid. Not the most enjoyable weather. And 100 on Monday with a heat index of 110, I think. So, hooray, that'll be fun. We do have Okamicon this weekend. And I think there's a parade of some sort as well. So maybe we'll go out to one of those things if it's early enough in the morning and it's not too hot yet. But otherwise, whew, going to try to stay cool this weekend a little bit. Oh, you've got the wildfire smoke. Oh, yeah, you want to stay in for that case. Yeah, ugh. That hasn't been hitting us too hard as of yet, but it's definitely... Oh, you've got it there too? So I imagine you guys are maybe not going out too much, or at least doing too much outside this weekend? Drugi, I don't even know if Drugi's got the smoke. Woofda. Yeah, so I bet Adam's probably feeling it too. I imagine I missed his stream yesterday, but I imagine he's having the same type of issue there. Yeah, I kind of figured he would. That's definitely where you stay inside. For Commodore Chronicles. That one's rough. Oh. Oofta. Well, let's see. See if there's something worth bringing in. Do we have Edge of Disgrace? Did I do Edge of Disgrace yet? Did not do Edge of Disgrace. Maybe that's when we do. So if you found Noid for DOS, what I'll do is I'll gladly add that in there. I'm adding Noid on DOS right now. Avoid the Noid. Select. Very good. See if that worked. Noid. Yeah, so we've got... So now if you go on Avoid the Noid, you'll see two columns. You'll see MS-DOS and you'll see C64. And then you can pick whichever one you want. I don't know. I felt like splitting the scores per platform was the better move from a purist standpoint, but if we feel like, what's it really matter? we can put the scores against the game itself as opposed to the platform entry of the game. Maybe we'll just see how that plays out. Have you done the C64 second reality demo yet? No. No. Let's take a look at that. I don't think I have. Reality. No. Got nothing in real there. So let's take a look at reality. Reality. Second Reality by Smash Designs. You want to see that one? Ooh, it looks nice. Let's do it. From 1997. This is, oh, look at the ID. The ID is 908. This is an oldie. Log in here. No, I would not have seen the DOS version for this either. I still got to get DOS working on this because I kind of wanted to bring up PC or DOSBox on the Raspberry Pi and launch DOS demos too. So if it's something I can launch in DOSBox mode, then I can actually add, I could put the DOS version of this on the whole demo launcher thing. Okay. Yeah. Let's check that out. Second Reality from 1997. Smash Designs. There's 2 discs. Okay. So this should be all right. Let me adjust here. So I'm going to take main PC up. We're going to move that to here. And diorama cam's got to pop up over down there. Very good. Take a look at Second Reality here. Start some of these retro 8-bit vibes. Start curation. Retrofeed it. Now, since this is 1997, I have a feeling I might have to hit space quite a bit to actually move forward, but we'll see. And an old school loader mechanism. This thing's taking its time. It hasn't. Try using SID for sound card. Oh my God, I love that. I love the DOS BIOS boot up. Auto start demo or start SDS demo? Auto start? I guess. Try one. Sound card, Gravis. Whoa, this is crazy. Choose SID. Oh, I actually choose. Oh, okay. I need to do cursor keys. Oh, did I do cursor keys? Sound Blaster Pro, Sound Blaster Mono, SID. Sound quality high, demo looping disabled. Okay, let's try it. I love that startup though. In 1997, I was a junior, senior in college. Very cinematic opening. There we go. Yes, it is. Oh, mod files. Oh my god. I haven't thought about those in years. Had a mod player, would just find mods and just play the music and be like, this is so awesome. Hell yeah.
Get down.
Yeah, for 1997, this is exceptional. It's good today, but you can see there's lots of rough elements for what people to do a little bit more smoothly today in this. So this is like a granddaddy type of thing. This is awesome. I need to build up my DOS demo collection. It's been years since I've... Oh, side 2. Yes, I can do that. Next disk. Clicky, clicky. Did it. Do I have to hit space? Or are you going to... Oh, there we go. Ah, yes. Text I can't read. But honestly, it's more the effect that's good.
I am not an atomic playboy.
Get down.
Yeah, nice and smooth plasma style. Hey, Waters. Good evening. We are watching a demo that was created in 1997. Hello, Waters. Nice to see you. I like the shadow effect there. That's nice. Hope you're doing well. The weekend's going to be relaxing for you. Oh, definitely. In 97, yeah. Uh-huh. Mr. Phones is right. The music is nice. Very good. As they say on the Bear, that's fire, chef. Compress the graphic. Very good. I mean, if it's the static blue background you're thinking, then that might have been drawn on the C64, but imported, not calculated automatically. But if you're talking the effects that were coming out of it, that's pragmatic, done on the C64. Like this here, given the speed of what we're seeing, this is effectively live. Oh, look at that. Right into the Commodore logo. Good credit sequence too, right? Showing the different things. Oh, this is very much just based on the fact that this is from 1997. I would say this was a influential style of demo. Let the credits go through once, and we'll save that script. The ray trace. Okay, so it was ray traced offline. Yep. Well, I'm assuming that was ray traced offline, brought in. It's definitely not on-demand ray tracing, but whether or not it was ray traced on the C64 and saved off, I don't know. I would think it was done off. right, we will save it. Yeah, that was good. That was nice. All right, so we need to give that. Music was definitely good. The graphics were very good, and I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 4 on the vibes. Yeah, very good, Mr. Pones. Very nice. Yep, S tier, definitely. Now, I usually don't grade, I don't really grade video or demos by the year they were released. I'm kind of grading them across the whole board. But that was solid for 1997, and it's damn solid today. Oh, heck yeah. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Pones. Now, I am kind of curious. It's been 1 week since I played a demo. DOS demos. I don't remember having a lot of DOS demos. But if they would play on DOSBox, that'd be something I would love to. Hey, Mountain Stars. Happy Friday to you. DOS demos would be interesting to curate. I don't have a place to go to get them. CSDB.dk is great for Commodore. Welcome, Mountain Stars. Happy Friday. Exodus? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Definitely. That's where... Oh, they do have a demo pack. Ooh, okay. I might have to go through those and see if I can pull some of those out and add them to this, because that would be kind of interesting to play some of the old DOS ones. This whole demo launcher thing that I've got, I wrote it to support more than just Vice. It's basically just a launcher program, right? So I can send keystrokes to it via the ESP32 Wi-Fi keyboard circuit. And the only thing is I can connect to Vice's monitor with remotely. I can't necessarily do that with DOSBox, but what would you really need to do that for anyway? I can kill the process remotely, so i.e. curating these, stopping, starting them, adding them to playlists. So that would be interesting to see. So yeah, let's take a look at the demo scene on here real quick. I'm kind of curious to see what they've got. I'm not going to download any today. I got to set up DOSBox on the Pi and see. But let's take a look at that real quick. $2,400? Is that right, or is that AI? Holy crap. Already configured to run in DOSBox. Oh, that's nice. And 9 gigs worth of demos. Given how small these demos were, that's a lot of demos. In fact, it's 2,424. Very cool. You know what? I did not realize that was a thing. Thank you, Mr. Pones. I will start looking at how to get, yeah, at least a dozen, right, Jay? I want to start looking at how to maybe get some of those into the demo launcher. Ideally, they run on the Pi, right? Because the whole thing of that being a Pi is that I can do the little diorama. And so the little DOS demos would even show up on the screen. So yeah, thank you. I've used the Exodus project. A lot of that stuff, I've used it for the bucket list. Like some of those things I got from Exodus, like the original Duke Nukem platformers and things like that. Hey, C64 Television, happy Friday.
I adore my 64. My
Commodore 64.
I cook with it, steam with it, educate the team with it. My Commodore 64. My Commodore 64. I pitch with it, catch with it, count my chicks before they hatch with it. My Commodore 64. My Commodore 64. My Sid chip singing got that Vic-2 glow. 64K, it's all I know.
Yes, fellow nerds, happy Friday. Hey, Hobo, good to see you. C64 Television, good to see you too. Now, out of these as active streamers, I only know of Jay. Right now, this actually streams.
Commodore 64.
But let's see. Let's see what shows up on the history of J Hobo and some of his clips. Oh, this is when he was doing the bird cam. Oh, look at that. Mama covering her babies. Baby. Aw. So cute. Jay, at one time, had some different cams up, infrared and everything, was watching some of the wildlife outside his area. But normally, he's carving coins, hence that coin carving right there as his avatar. There's J Hobo. Carving them hobo nickels. Very good. Anybody else actively streams, I'll more than gladly give you a shout out. We'll take a look at one of your old clips. Or if you just want to take a look at your old clips and you don't stream, I'll give you another shout out. I just didn't want to do it in case somebody didn't feel comfortable with doing it. Jay, he's actively streaming, so there you go. Destroying money for fun and profit. Very good. Yeah, so I want to get the DOSBox demos running on there. And so I'll take a look at that bit and see what it would take, because I know I don't think I have DOSBox on the Pi. I do have like one Amiga demo on there. So we can take a look at that real quick. It's a nice demo. It's one of the few I've got running on the Pi because of it being a little bit weird to configure Amiberry, Amiberry, right? So I've got, I think platforms, yeah. So I can do Amiberry. This is a Pi 4. It's a Pi 4 in there. He's not that big. He's just a standard Pi 4. I think maybe 2 or 4 gigs of RAM. It's enough to run this stuff. Yeah. But I think I've got like one. I had state of the art, but I couldn't get it running yet. Just lost power, and apparently my speakers aren't plugged into the UPS. Thanks for the shout out. You're welcome. You got the Noid. Be ready, high score. Excellent. Oh, yeah. I haven't bought a Pi in years. So these are all, I bought a handful of different Pis over the years. Yeah, the Pi 5, no way. I wouldn't touch a Pi 5. Honestly, the applications for a Pi for me are few and far between anymore. You can buy a mini PC for doing a lot of stuff. The ESP32 is usually where I'm at for other things, like the Wi-Fi keyboard and stuff. For this, it's obviously a really good choice for a nice system on a chip to be able to run the diorama emulators. But otherwise, yeah. The use case of a Pi, with the mini PCs, you don't really need them that much anymore. Use your Pi 5 for playing light gun games with Wiimotes as guns. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Triple F, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. I hope we see some more get up there. Right now, Triple F is going for the DOS version of Avoid the Noid for a high score. And we'll see over time if other people get their pieces on there. And C64 Television with Beachhead showing off earlier. Look at that. Did a great job. An excellent job. But yeah, we have like one Amiga demo that kind of runs. So this is a cool one to see, if nothing else. It's like, I'm not an Amiga person. So, I mean, I like it, but I never had one as a kid. So for me, it's more of like seeing some of the stuff for the first time. I don't remember these things like I do with the C64 side. But it's still, there's very cool emulation that you can do with it. So this is that Raspberry Pi running Amiberry. Yeah, it's great, isn't it, Mountain Stars? I like it too. We'll see how things go with that. I also don't know much about the Amiberry emulator either. So when I had one demo not working, I'm like, I don't know if it's the Pi, the version of Amiberry, the whole LHA versus Disk images, right? I just don't get into that deep enough to have a good feel for what's what. So for now, this was the one Amiga demo that I got to work, but I do like it. I just think it's really well done. Yeah, Amaberry. That's the Amiga emulator on it. And this is running Nine Fingers, which I believe is from like 1993. Oh, I missed it, Triple F. Okay, very good. Got me on that one. I do not remember the reference. I can hear some stuttering here and there, and I'm not sure if that's the Pi necessarily struggling with Amaberry or not, but in general, it seems to flow fairly smooth. Way too late epilepsy warning there. Orko! Oh, very good. Yeah, so that's like the one that I've gotten working. I kind of, like the CSDB ones, I'm pretty confident in like saying, oh, let's import that and play it right now, right? Because 99% of the time those work, but with the Amiga ones, since I'm not familiar with the emulator, I don't feel like trying to download those, getting those to work on stream. There's a few Amiga demo sites out there, but then figuring out like the LHA versus disk images and things like that of what this will run, I got to get back in there. Your father smelled of elderberries. I fart. Oh, the elderberries. Yes, that's it now. Okay, yes, now I remember it. Yes, I fart in your general direction. Very good. Oh, I love the little Orko. It's adorable. Not sure who the other one is. Is that like a skeleton Squidward guy? Yes, your mom was a hamster. Squidward. Okay, that is a skeletal Squidward, or okay. I wasn't sure. Was not sure. I am not terribly familiar with the ways of SpongeBob SquarePants. I just heard that scene the other day on the radio, I think, to Bring Out Your Dead. I'm not dead yet. I'm feeling better, or something along those lines, right? Very good. Very good. All right, we have a ad coming up here in a few minutes. Let's run one more demo, and we'll see it. I don't want to go on the cart. We'll see how that one plays out. Edge of Disgrace by Booze Design. I don't believe I've done this one yet. This is from 2008. We'll do this one through the ad break. And that should work okay. Let's see here. Edge of Disgrace. This is from 2008 by Booze Design. We've got, oh God, there's a 0, a 1A, and a 1B. Why are there... Is the 0 a demo of it? Or did they do 0-based index? It always gets me on these. 0. Is there a 0? There's a bunch of zeros coming through. That's not going to be good. All right, so when they do that, I have a hard time knowing what we actually launch first. So we'll try 0 and see what happens, but maybe 1A, 1B follow next, I would imagine. That seems like a good order. I don't know. We'll see. So this is from 2008 by Booze Design, which normally does some good stuff. Right, 0 is the first one, but it's like I could see somebody doing 0 as a demo. Seconds. But we'll see. I myself at work often use 0-based indexing when I'm making lists on the board, and I catch myself doing it way too often, and the too many years of being an engineer shine through. All right, Edge of Disgrace 2008. Loading so quickly. Here we go. Dead air. Dead air. There can't be dead air. I must say words. Ah, okay. Now we flipped the disk. All right, we'll do that. Flipped. Disk flipped. I have seen this one before, but I haven't curated it before. Oofta. Smooth. Thus far, it reminds me of the Second Reality in a just a smoother way, a more refined way. Look at how sneaky they're being. Doing their logo in there right on top of the plasma effect. Nice and smooth. Booze does good work. BT, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Look at all those little emotes. Hello, BT. Happy Friday to you too. We are, thank you very much. She's upstairs working on some stuff. She lurks here and there. I think she mutes me a lot because she's like, I don't understand this 8-bit music stuff. That's okay, honey. I do. But likewise, BT, hope you're doing good too. I'm glad you're doing okay. Sometimes that's okay too. Surviving, you know? Nothing bad, nothing super great, but we're here, relaxing on a Friday, so that's that can't be too bad. This scroller I don't mind. I can actually read the words. I get a feeling like they're showing off a little bit here, but it's so damn good. Uh-huh. Yeah, they are. That was the great thing about that second reality. You knew they weren't using the borders, right? That was still the undiscovered country, so to speak, right? That was unheard of for quite a while. This is beautiful too, especially how they dynamically shift the shape. little diorama cam. You can see that this LCD display, the camera does not pick up the color on that very well. It is, the display itself comes in a lot more blue, but it's also darker in real life. But I have a hard time with the camera picking up the colors well enough, but still. It works well enough. Flip the disc? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Flipping the disc, sir. That's got to be, what, Summer Glau, right? I believe her name is. Yeah, this is from Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, I believe. I love that show. I wish that show would have kept going. Bring in the sprites. Yeah. Yeah, it's a $5 all the way. Oh, and now we get to many dotted 3D rotation. Very nice. Where else are you going to get balls within balls on a Friday night? Nicely done, Booze Design. All right, I think this ends it here. So, yeah, Orko is pleased. Complete and save. That is a 5er across the board. Booyah. S tier. The reason I curate these is that occasionally I still plan on doing some weekend streams where I'm mostly like doing something in the workshop, right? Like trying to figure out some code stuff, right? Or cleaning up the place, maybe doing some inventory. And it's not so much where I'm here right in front of the computer the entire time on the stream, right? Or maybe I'm putting together some craft stuff or whatever, right? And those things can play on the background, automated and everything, just like the KIO TV stuff. So that's kind of why I curate these. And now that that one's saved, can replay that and it'll auto script the discs flipping and everything automatically. So yeah, that worked out nicely. I think one of the things I want to do too, this is a small, well, maybe it's not a small project, but I used to use a Airtable-like database thing called NocoDB. And I use that to track inventory because of all the crap that I've got in some of these cases and some of these drawers. I wanted to inventory a lot of the stuff, especially like what ESP32s do I have? What's their stats, right? This one has so much memory, or this was an ESP32S3 versus room model whatever, right? This one's got Bluetooth, this one doesn't. This is Wi-Fi, this one doesn't. Same for the pies, same for the circuits themselves, so that I just knew what I had. And that in its own right is something I've struggled with, of being able to say, okay, how do I inventory something? I need to put a label on it somehow, right? So that if I've got boxes of different things and maybe the box isn't good enough to show what's on there. Yeah, it's true. I do need a database to do it. Or at least to know what I've got. If I need a database to track my hardware, does that mean I've got too much hardware? It might, right? Yeah. Some of the things, like, well, so for example, I've got these boxes here. I'll bring some over, right? Of, oh, let me move this one around. Like, I don't need to catalog all my shrink tubing. I don't need to do that. But there are going to be things like, I'm bringing them over here. Hold on. Like I did try labeling these at some point a while back in NocoDB. So this is EB1, electronics bin number 1. Right? That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So, did somebody get a high score? I think I heard. Oh, what do we got? Freedom. Freedom. Triple F ranks 2 out of 2. 1,000 on Avoid the Noid. Okay, okay. He's got his score submitted. Got a score submitted. Very good, Triple F. But it's like, you know, if I were to look at that ESP32, how would I know what it is, right? It's just an ESP32. You have to get the magnifying glass on and be like, oh, okay, it says this, but maybe that's not everything. How many pins does it have? If I were to pull out one of these, like, would you know what that is inherently just by looking at it? Maybe if you did it enough. I'm amateur electronics, so I don't. So for me, well, it does say on here, level converter, right? So this is a logic level shifter, but what voltage, right? So as long as I keep it in the bag and I get a label on here and I can then look that up and be like, okay, this is a level shifter. I know it's 61. Come on, give me some focus here, right? So you're not going to focus on this? Focus. Well, you can kind of make it out, but it's a logic shifter, right? And it's 3.3 volts to 5 volts. I use this on the ESP32 circuit for the C64 streamer. Muffler bracket for a 79 Pinto. Oh. Yeah, good job, Triple F. Avoid the noise is hard. It's rough. Before the big price gouging in 2025, it was fun not to know what you had in your inventory, just buy new stuff, and then a day later you find you have 3 of the exact... Oh, you bet. You bet. That's exactly part of why I want to do this. I know I've got some more ESP32s in these bins over here. I know I've got plenty of just different wires and crap, because I would, before, 3 years ago when I was doing more stuff, before I got busy with work, which basically knocked me out of anything for about 2 to 3 years. I would just buy, I'll just buy one of these things. I don't know if I've got one, I'll just buy another one. I need to know what I have. So I've got things like an Espressif ESP32S3 DevKit C1 with N8R8, which I think is the flash RAM. But then I've got one other box that would look the same, but it would be an 8ND, no PS RAM, right? So one of these has 8 megabyte PS RAM, the other one doesn't. If I might need to know the difference, right? But if I look at the box alone, you'll never know. It doesn't say, right? So I'd have to take the thing out, look at it, figure out what's going on there. And so I started making little labels. I've got a little label printer, right? And I put little labels on here, and I've inventoried them. But I need to pick it up again, and I don't want to use NocoDB. And so I am kind of thinking about searching for another one. Or vibe coding one. Well, I don't want to use the term vibe coding because I am a developer, so I know how code works. So vibe coding really does imply like you don't know how code works at all. But effectively, vibe-ish coding, something maybe in place of it, or finding a good open source solution that's not something like a database, something that's actually meant for tracking, like a home inventory thing. Because part of it is understanding what I've got, capturing the attributes of what I've got. And part of that is different too, because if it's electronics especially, right? Like there's no resistor value for an ESP32, that's just resistors. And so some of the attributes match for certain types of entities and other attributes are better suited for others, right? If I've got a DC converter, what's the voltage on it? What's the amps, right? That's what you need to know. Yeah, so I kind of started doing that a little bit too at one point. Like, do I do little QR codes? And I was scanning those, and I was using a database that could work on your phone, right? So I could just go to the thing, scan it, and it would pop it up. But none of them they were all very rough. And it was just missing certain things, just enough. And then how do I also track like where the thing is and what box the thing is in, and where is the box of the things that are in that, all that stuff. So I am going to try to get that going again. And that's definitely one of those weekend stream things where I'm doing stuff. People come in and say hi, whatever. I play some demos. I play the TV, the retro TV, but I'm not like at the computer the entire time. I'm doing stuff. That's what I think I was going to do for weekend streams, where it's more like working on some projects in here, and it's a little slower roll, as opposed to me just constantly, trying to be here. Put hardware in a OneNote. Then again, I'm not coming across much hardware nowadays. Hey, Casual. Casual. My lurker from so way back. Not very lurky now. Hope you're having a good Friday, Casual. Oh, yeah. I try different types of database. You can do Excel sheets and things like that. And part of it is always where it really does come down to custom attributes for certain types of entities. And how does that play inside of the entire system as well? That's the struggle. It's not so much inventory a thing, but I want to be able to inventory the right attributes about the thing so I can search for that. But those attributes aren't always on the same other things. So I struggle with that one a bit. I've got like a box of CBM parts, right? And on here, I don't even know what this is. no idea what this is. What the hell is this? Oh, it's a C64 PSU. A modern day PSU. Okay, great. See, I didn't know that. It is kind of random unboxing day. But this is one of those things of like, this needs to be a project at some point so I get a better idea of to what is where, or at least if nothing else, do I have the thing, right? It may not be so much, well, if I've got only 2 boxes labeled CBM parts, my parts are in there. But how many do I have, right? Do I need to go buy another one because I always like to have a hot spare? It's stuff like that. This is one of those, whatchamacallits, the HXC floppy emulator, Lothar Tech, right? I got that because I thought I might need it for certain things going to and from floppies. VGA to HDMI converters, you know, random cables. I want to get that. I want to know what I've got. I don't know why I have a 16 gig SanDisk card in here. No idea. Oh, yeah, the old Gotek. That's right. Don't make it complicated. Just have a notes column. Oh. Part of me is a little too... Oh, I know what you're saying, Jay. I know. I'm sure, I'm relatively certain you kind of, who doesn't have, right? Oh yeah, there's a whole other bag of those things. Jay, you have an inventory system. I've seen your inventory system, but I kind of imagine if it's all coin based, then the attributes are generally the same, right? Because coins are coins. Whatever attributes you would want to store about a coin, country, origin, currency, material, right? That would apply to any of your coins. The values of the attributes would be different, right? But the attributes themselves would be pretty consistent, I would think, across your coins. The problem is when those attributes change because the entities are different and I want to catalog all the damn entities. And if I do that in a notes column, yeah, see, this is a sad bag. This bag is just full of SD cards and summon package and compact flash, and I don't even know what's on these things anymore. These were always kind of fun. These are, I gotta clip my nails. Flash Air from Toshiba. They're little Wi-Fi SD cards. I was using these in 3D printers because they were actually little Wi-Fi cards you could send stuff to remotely before you could actually, so you didn't have to go and take the flash drive out, copy files onto it, you can just send stuff to it. Full SAP infrastructure. Oh, why not, right? That's the struggle. I want to get down into the weeds, but I don't want to necessarily get too far down in the weeds, but it's the flexibility of it all that I struggle with. Yeah, Mountain Stars is absolutely correct. That is how I would approach that project. Small sample sets, figuring out the entities. The nice thing about like Airtable and NocoDB is that you can easily add new fields and things like that and handles it, but it's not efficient. It's because it's too generic. It's trying to be too generic there. And bring back to Dewey Decimal System, your stuff is filed and you're stylishly retro or not. I say a lot of stupid shit. Hey, Dewey Decimal System could work. Your Canon camera uses them. Very good. Hi, Waters. Very good. But Mountain Stars is really on the nose there, right? So what that implies then, I'm now creating the whole infrastructure, which isn't bad, but it was more of like, I was always hoping there was some kind of already existing thing that would cover my use cases. I've seen inventory programs, and like I said, the NocoDB, which is NoCodeDB basically, Airtable type stuff, they're very generic. So it kind of works, right? And then there's like, I know I've seen some other home inventory or inventory tracker things, but they're often either way too light or they're like super detailed and it's like tracking asset inventory, tag management for like companies, right? they put their little sticker on your laptop and your keyboard and all that stuff. They track all where that is. I like the idea of part of that, but not as heavy. So it does feel like I've got to take a little bit of everything and probably make my own thing. I didn't want to necessarily reinvent the wheel. Big Ed Mustafa. Hello, sir. Welcome. Let's give a little shout out to Big Ed Mustafa. Big Ed Mustafa. Let's see what Big Ed Mustafa has been up to lately. Some Lord of the Rings or Apex Legends. Little Lord of the Rings Online. This clip is from Apex Legends. Big Ed running around with a big gun.
Alternator 3030.
Rings close. 45 seconds on the clock. Extended light mag here. Level 2.
I'll bag that.
Big Ed likes to rotate between Lord of the Rings Online and little Apex Legends or other FPS shooters of sorts. Go check out Big Ed Mustafa. I've known him for quite a few years now. In real life, before I even knew he was a streamer. Happy Friday to you, Mr. Mustafa. Hope Mrs. M is doing well. It seems to be like the only one, right? Oh, and Sunday Night Shooty Boats does that one too. Yeah, yeah, Big Ed. He is colorful, weaving tapestries of obscenities. Oh, it's excellent, excellent. Happy Friday to you, sir. I imagine, is it official Lord of the Rings stream later tonight? Is that your night for streaming for the official Lord of the Rings account? If you aren't using a full Oracle deployment to sort your sock drawer, you just aren't trying. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad she's doing well. Yep, just setting up for Latra stream. Yep. So for Fridays, he actually streams for the official Lord of the Rings online stream. So huge Lord of the Rings Latro, Lord of the Rings online player. Very good. I'm glad Mrs. M is doing well. Very good. Yeah, that could be a thing, right? That could be a thing where maybe that's a project. You know, maybe that's one of the weekend projects of just kind of going through and figuring out what the schema should look like. How flexible do I need it? Are there things like it that I just haven't seen? And I haven't searched for inventory programs in about a year. I would love to use an open source version of something, but it has to tick all the boxes of all the things that I want to be able to do. Hard to believe that SSG can't find anybody better. Oh no. Friday night, Latro After Dark with Big Ed Mustafa. God, I haven't seen UHF in years. Definitely years. It's been a while. It's long enough that I know that I need to watch again. It's been that long. Triple F coming in with a high score on ER Kung Fu, 12,200. All right, he's getting his name up on the list. Wheel of Fish. Oh. Yeah, I think no, I would not do a if you're talking about running a home inventory system on the C64. No, not so much. Oh, hydrate. All right, hydration. Thank you, Triple F. But yeah, it would probably be my standard go-to when I'm coding something is a Spring Boot backend Postgres database, and then some really simple, probably Bulma framework on the front end. Usually using HTMX. I don't do Angular. I don't do separate front ends. Usually my backend is serving the front end stuff, just because I'm not a big UI person. Yeah, it's been so many years since I've watched it. Maybe that'll be one that Triple P and I watch this weekend. Usually we try to watch a movie a weekend, and God, it's been long enough. Yeah, very good. Very good. So, one of the things that this is a good look for me. I think I can pull this off. Or not. One of the things that we can do here now, I want to take a look at a little bit of maybe some open code and some Claude. I kind of want to see, I want to prove to myself again that we can emulate the issues with the C64 streamer. And maybe try some of that out. But first, I am going to take my own personal break and stretch my legs a little bit. So I'm going to let the TV run for just a tad. Get up, stretch the old legs. Jay Pones, you need a little bit? If my wife lets me share any, if there's any left over, she's a little jealous of it as well. I have some people at work that like ask to touch it a lot. My hair, that is. It's a weird thing. TV. All right. Let's see. What's coming up next?
For some time, people have been predicting the end of print. No more books, no more newspapers. There was even a television program predicting just that.
All right.
Remember,
I'll be back in a few.
Goodbye Gutenberg. But I wonder if I'm really going to be reading my local paper off a TV screen. Are computers really going to become the new media?
Reboot. Welcome, sir. I'll be back.
For the pioneers of the West who came from the cities to these hills in search of gold, life was rough, tough, and dangerous. Once a month, if you were lucky, the mail would arrive by mule train, a journey of 53 days. By 1858, the stagecoach had penetrated deep into the West, and it had cut the time for the 2,700-mile journey from San Francisco to St. Louis to a mere 23 days. 23 days that were described by the passengers as hell on wheels. But for special messages, there was a faster way. The news of Abraham Lincoln's election in 1860 was sent by Pony Express, a distance of 2,000 miles in a mere 6.5 days. But the era of the Pony Express was only to last 18 months before it too was replaced by a device that revolutionized communications. And the principles of that device have hardly changed over the last 150 years. The connection to Salt Lake City is late. Can you telegraph ahead and find out what's gone wrong? Obviously, a man of few words. But he does know the code that will allow me to send a message at the speed of light to anywhere connected to the end of that wire. It's a fairly simple code, no more than a series of ons and offs, and it doesn't really matter what it is, as long as the guy at the other end understands it, and he can send a message back in the same code.
That means, you dummy, stage attack by Indians. Next one due Tuesday week.
Tuesday? Indians? I wonder if we got that right.
Well, today Mac would simply have made a phone call But there are still many kinds of message which we'd obviously rather send in the form of the written word. Letters can take a long time, although not quite as long as in the American West. And telegrams depend on knowing exactly where the other person is going to be and sending it there. What we often need is the instant letter, which can reach somebody no matter where they are. And that's just
Instant
what
letter.
electronics now makes
CBD,
possible.
hello.
This is Prestel.
Welcome.
And we're connected just
Triple
by a
F, thank
perfectly
you for the clip.
ordinary
My wife got a
telephone line
kick out
to
of
the
that.
Prestel computer. And as soon as we dial it up and get the Prestel display on our screen, it's nice and friendly, welcome to Prestel, and immediately new messages for you, key *930, and that funny noughts and crosses sign, which is a
The
hash.
old
So let's
BBC
do it.
computers. Never tried one.
*930.
Never tried one. That'd be maybe something I put up on the Mister at some point, right? Like maybe. Oh, I'm here. Don't count me as away. There we go. Emulating something on there would be kind of interesting. I've never messed with the BBC, and that's one of those where I'll never own one because there's just too many. Illinois me? What are you talking about, Jay? Happy Friday, CBD. Welcome, Reboot. I got to give a shout out to CBD. And Reboot. Let's give a shout out to Reboot. Oh, yes. Okay, very good. Very good. Give a little shout out to Reboot here. Got some big bada booms. One of his IRL streams. Ooh, hey, look at that. Recently enough, CBD. You get a shout out. Look at that. From the 4th of July last year. Reboot does a mix of IRL stuff. I've seen him play Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, so puzzle games, a lot of puzzle games of that nature. And very much into generative AI and technical things, so Reboot's good. CBD is all about the crafting and cozy games. And she needs to get her butt back on and streaming. There's Cozy Games. Aw, honey. Oh, one of the ones where we get the purr. Yeah. I love that. That is adorable.
Did you hear her purring?
Yes, we did.
Did you hear her? My little girl? Hell yeah? Good. Can you clip it for me, Zared? I want to hear her on stream.
Always some nice little moments where you can get the furballs involved. Luna and both Buddy are upstairs with PPP, so I am like, she's not, usually she'd be around here annoying me by now, but she's kind of taking a break, doing some stuff with Mom upstairs. They were bonding, petting, she was drooling. Luna was drooling, not PPP, but they're doing some bonding. So it's like, okay, you guys do your bonding. What are you gonna do? All right, so I was thinking of messing a little bit with some of the generative AI stuff here. Got some thoughts of some of the things that I want to do, and one of them is to really show. So we're gonna get a little Cody technical here for a little bit. Hopefully that's of interest. So I think I need to. Now we need to have something on the background, right? Clipped a clip of a clip. Adam, Commodore Chronicles. Oh, there's another shout out. Silent reverence. Well, it's not going to be great coding. It's going to be more, hey AI, how do I do this thing? Shout out to Commodore Chronicles. Adam, very good to see you, sir. Chronsiles, not Chronsiles, Chronicles. Let's do this right. There's the clip. There we go. Ooh, what is this? Oh!
Yeah,
Big time Big Boy's in.
Fun and fantasy and ever-changing views. And
Triple F, thank you for the sub to Big Time Big Boy.
Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
Triple F gifting 1 sub. Thank you very much.
High technology.
Thank you.
And ever-changing moods.
All right, we got the gift sub, and then we'll have one more
And changing
for Bick getting that sub. And Triple F with 100 biddies. Thank you very much, Triple F. It's going to be time for some Commodore music.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore?
Here we go again.
Because the Commodore is keeping up with you. In a world of fun and fantasy and ever-changing views and computer terminology, Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore?
This is a rare community train. I don't know what that means. What is a community train?
In a world of high technology and ever-changing moods, in a world that's full of make-believe and changing attitudes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. Yeah, come on back. Oh, damn it, Jay. Oh, crap. At least there's some more variety here.
Cause the Commodore is keeping up
in style, if nothing else, of the songs. Oh my god, we've got 5 C64 events coming.
Cause the Commodore is keeping
4 more here.
with you.
Oh, casual. Jay, thank you for the bits. Reboot, thank you for the bits. Triple F,
In a world
thank you
of
for the
fun
bits.
and fantasy
And casual, thank you for the sub.
views and computer terminology, Commodore is news. Are you
And
keeping
Triple F, oh my god. We trying to break this thing again?
is keeping up with
Did
you?
it break?
Are you keeping up?
Did we already break it? Am I seeing, like, I think we're timing out here.
Is keeping up with you. In a world of high technology and ever-changing moods.
Did you
In a
already
world
break it?
that's full of make-believe
What's going on
and
now?
changing attitudes. Are you keeping up with the Commodore?
What is going on?
Is keeping up with you.
We timed out. We timed out. Is the ESP32 actually running? It's still up and running. I mean, look at the web serial. Ah. How do you guys break this thing? All right, I've got the web serial up. For some reason, we are not completing it. I'm going to complete the Triple F one. I'm going to complete that event.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you
Oh man, I don't know how long this is going to go now. All right, no more bits, no more nothing. If this thing's broken, I don't want to rob you. There we go. Here's one. Here's one coming in. Reboots 100 bits. Triple F, I know you gave 100 bits before that. Thank you very much. For some reason, I did not like those. But here we go. Reboot. More Commodore music. Well, you've got it now.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
In a world of fun and fantasy.
Oh, this is the lounge version.
Views and computer terminology, Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore?
Here we have Jay. Thank you very much. Jay Hobo.
In a world of high technology and ever-changing moods. In a world that's full of
I did have the look of concern. I want to make sure like it works through these things. But see, so we are, something is going on.
Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you
Something is going on. I've got some investigation to do this weekend. We haven't broken the thing, but we are seeming to skip and not get the right event through. Yeah, so I do have a look of concern. It's a legitimate concern. J-Hobo, thank you very much for the 100 bits. I've completed that one, and there immediately comes Casual Wows. I can see the little robot. He's stopped. Here we go. No, damn it. Stop. No.
I pitch with it, catch with it, count my chicks before
BT, thank you for the gifted sub. J-Hobo.
My Sid chip singing got that Vic 2 glow.
Here's Casual subscription.
With 1 megahertz, electrons flow.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
41, so gosh darn slow. I adore my 64, my Commodore 64.
Oh boy. Calamity alert indeed. You wonderful, wonderful people. Now see here I feel like Triple F's 100 bits is not going to trigger properly.
I adore my 64, my Commodore 64. I cook with it, steam with it, educate the team with it.
No. See, now it stopped. I saw it went to the C64. The C64 rejected the event code, DQing immediately. WTF was bits. Okay. Okay, so this is the interesting part. Here's what we got. And the Commodore 64 rejected it. You wonderful people. And it returns back with WTF was, and did not like that string. There's 2 colons there, and that's what makes me wonder. Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. I broke it. I broke it last week.
With it, educate the team with it, my Commodore 64. I pitch with it, catch with it, count my chicks before they hatch with it, my
totally broke it.
64. My Sid chip singing got that Vic 2 glow.
I know what it is. This is the code I put in the... Oh, okay, hold on. All right, this next bit will work because these are subs. Here we go. Next event, please. J-Hobo sub from BT. I know what this is. Oh boy. There we go. Here's J-Hobo coming in.
In a world of fun and fantasy and ever-changing views.
Thank you, BT. Oh my gosh.
Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore?
Oh, this was my attempt at like glam rock-ish.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Because the Commodore is keeping up with you.
All right. The last one, BT's gift. And then we're done. Let it relax.
In a world that's full of make-believe and changing attitudes, are you keeping up with the Commodore? Because the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? Because the Commodore is keeping up with you.
Most of you permanently etched in here. I know exactly what happened.
I cook with it, steam with it, educate the team with it. My Commodore 64. I pitch with it, catch with it, count my chicks before they hatch with it.
Thank you, you wonderful people. Thank you so much. Very much. I know it's fun to break the C64 streamer. You guys are very good at doing it, but also very much appreciated. So thank you. Yeah, so here's what happened. Remember when Triple F, you would occasionally do cheer one, cheer one, cheer one, cheer one, and we wanted to remove those because it was removing the message. Well, if you just do bits, it removed that completely. That is why we see sending character data Triple F : 2630. So the message being blank there, the C64 streamer does not expect a blank message. So that is what I need to fix. Oh, what is this? Hype chest open? What is happening here? Mega consume emote? What is that? You got a... Did you all get a chest with an emote in it? Wow. Okay. Okay. Neat. Hype chests on the way. This is totally new to me. Thank you very much. Very cool. I don't know if we get to keep these emotes or not, but hey, they're there. Choo choo for the community train. Bravo, you wonderful people. Bravo. So that's the issue. If you're gonna cheer bits, hi Luna. I will fix that. I will add some default message. You do get to keep this emote. Very good. So now I've got whatever that one, mega consume. So mega consume. I'm just going to flood it real quick here. Boom, flooded. Oh my. They're under global emotes. Okay. Neat. And very lo-fi chill. Awesome. Right on. Very cool. I don't have a hype train alert on the C6. I was never expecting to get a hype train for the C64 streamer to pick it up. I might have to add that. So yeah, I know why that bug is happening. I will fix that before the next stream. But it's basically if you cheer bits without a message, I believe that's what's causing it. And that's why. But I will fix it so you don't have to put a message in there, but we'll do it for the next stream. Luna, do you want to say hi to everybody? Yeah? Okay. Come on up. Say hi. Hi. Oh, claws in my gut. Thank you very little. Hi. Hey, come in. Look at the camera and say hi. Look at the camera and say hi. Say hi. Look, turn around. If I rotate you, oh, you don't want to get rotated. All right, well, you're a big party pooper. Right here. Right here. Oh, no. Okay. Triple F with a message. Is that going to come through? Yep. There we go. That's going to work.
So gosh darn slow. I adore my 64, my Commodore 64. I adore
yep,
my
so
64,
that worked. All right.
my Commodore 64.
I like the funky ones. I do like some funk in my music. Hi.
I cook with it.
Everybody says hi to you.
Educate the team with it, my Commodore 64. I pitch with it, catch with it, my chicks.
Yeah, look at this. Say hi. Oh, okay. Proof positive there. That is why. Thank you for digging into my shirt. So, fun fact, PPP, Triple P, in almost all of her shirts has
Ad incoming in
holes
60 seconds.
right around here. Tiny, tiny little holes that you can see after a while because they're opening up now. And it's because she picks up Buddy and he constantly digs his nails right in that spot to get leverage as she's picking them up. So almost all of her shirts now have holes in a very discreet spot. We thought like something was going on snagging clothes in the dryer, but it was only her shirts and it was only in that spot. And I'm like, no, something else is doing this. And finally we made the connection of like, oh, every time she picks up Buddy, he puts his back legs down against her shirt. And now you've got holes. All right, we do have an ad break coming up. We'll just have to work through it here a little bit. All right, goodbye, Luna. Thanks for coming by. See you again later on. Whew! All right. So, let's get techie a little bit, shall we? We are on the big main view, which is effectively what I want. If I need to zoom in, please let me know. I can zoom in and make things bigger. All right. So the entire goal here, Triple F, you heading out? Triple F, thank you very much. I'll come back here real quick and say goodnight to Triple F. Triple F, thank you for the bits. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the clips. Have yourself a wonderful night, sir. And if nothing else, catch you on the next time around or see you posting some high score breaks in the Discord. That's what I expect to see. Good night, Triple F. Thank you very much. All right, so let's go back to the main PC. All right, so the goal here has always been to effectively prove that there's an issue with talking to the C64 at 1200 baud. All right, so here's my C64. I'm gonna make this side by side here a little bit and run my terminal program. All right, so if I hit H, that's going to send hello, and we can see the hello here, right? So this is a terminal. We're using SOCAT in between simple Python terminal and Vice. Vice is currently set up as emulating the RS-232 is currently set up to emulate, and we are creating basically a temporary device called Temp Vice C64. SOCAT is reading from that and sending that to the terminal. So that's effectively what we're doing, and that's how I'm able to pretend to do the C64 streamer stuff. The problem here, though, is that if I'm going to type something back, hello, my name is Mud. You see, hell, my name is Mud, right? That's the problem right there. I'm going to type that again. And paste that again. All right. See what we're dealing with here? Hell, my name is Mud. Hello, my name is Mud. I effectively drop characters here and there. And at 1200 baud, that's how that flies. That is an inherent issue that we have with the C64 streamer at 1200 baud. That's why I have to constantly put a checksum at the end. So when we saw the issue with those characters, the checksum is used to calculate to make sure that it got it all properly. Sometimes this works really well, and sometimes it's just bad. But I'll try it again. Hello, my name is Mud. Oh, this one didn't. So that one, the reason he's 2 lines is he didn't detect the carriage return. My name is M. Yeah. It's generally not great. Now, sometimes I have this run better on the Windows box, but for what it's worth, right, it is showing that there's some issues here. Now, the terminal program is sending it very fast. If we were to look at, let me bring up ESP32 C64 streamer, right? and we're going to ask. So this is the C64 streamer. This is the main code that, okay, control should, yep, thank you. Go away. So when I send, need to where do we send to the C64? All right, somewhere here we send to it. That's the callback. That's not what I want. Build event message. Heat pending. Request reply. Here we go. Request reply. I believe, based on, well, let's take a look at that. So let's come back to that in a second. Send string to Commodore 64. I do have a small delay on the ESP32 side that I do not have in our test. So this is microseconds, but there is a delay between sending the characters. So even at the 1200 baud, the ESP32 still has a delay. I had to put that in there to get it to work consistently. Now, as far as what the C64 itself is doing, let's bring up that code. This is the test harness here. This is not the real C64 streamer stuff. But let me bring that up here real quick. So this is our RS-232 test. This is what I was just running that showed this stuff. This is opening 220. 8 is the 2400 and CHR0. So we're doing 1200 baud 8N1. And that's so you have 8 bits used to represent each character of data, right? No parity, no parity. And then 1 stop bit to signal the end. Now, as far as flow control, that is all that we have the Commodore actually doing. Right? So that's effectively it. At 300, this works well. At 12, it doesn't. And my understanding thus far is that this piece is really bad. Right? So we're getting from that second channel that we open up, and we're just doing string concatenation. And it's not able to read off of, well, I guess I should say I'm sending the other character before the C64 is able to read it. I don't know of any other setting I would have on the C64 to do any sort of flow control. So at this point, I'm thinking it's more, I'm sending too fast. And if I have to put a delay in, that's okay, but I'd like to reduce the amount of delay to get consistent delivery. Like I could ask it in my Python, this is the Python code that basically is what I'm running here down below, right? When I type in, hey there, right? This is that little Python script. And I could say something like, we could get really simple with it. Let me go back to C64 testing, right? And we could say, hey, let's add a simple, right, exactly, yep, exactly, that's what's happening. Let's add a simple delay of, let's say, let's just start off with 500 milliseconds between sending each character to SOCAT in, what is this, term.py? All right, so we're going to have that add that delay and let it go through that and try. And then I want to run that again and see, can I slow it down on the sending side, right? So here it's already doing it, done, added it, great. All right, so we've got our terminal. I'm going to rerun the terminal. And the terminal should be up, and we should see, hello, my name is Mud. There it is. Hello, my name is Mud. Now, it took a while to get there, right? Took a while to get there, but we are consistent. It's taking a lot longer to get that bite in, but that's okay, right? This was the point. We slowed it down by doing one character at a time, and now look how consistent that is. And so that's why the ESP32 streamer, I added that delay in there to effectively give you the flow control you need, but I'm not really taking advantage of the 1200 baud mode, right? So I wanted to be able to reduce this delay and use 1200 baud and get it to read consistently. So if we try this again and we take the we take that delay, right, 0.5 seconds, right? So that's 500 milliseconds. Let's see if I can reduce this down to 100. So 100 millisecond delay. And I'm going to rerun the terminal. And we're going to say, hello to Mountain Stars. My name is Mud. Okay, so that worked. It wasn't anywhere near as long, right? Hello to Mountain Stars, my name is Mud. We're not getting any lost. I am. Yep, that's exactly it, right? So I'm adding pauses on my side. But what I feel like is that I could still convert the C64 side to assembler and read off of this faster. Because what I'm feeling like is that here's my thought on this. I'm doing a delay between each character being sent because I need to. Otherwise, you saw what happens, right? We just lose the characters because the C64 can't pull that fast enough before the next character's in there, and then I'm just reading a different character. So my thought is, okay, I added the delay on the front side because that's easier to add the delay, right? I can't speed up the C64 in BASIC doing what I'm doing. But I'm feeling like I can lower the delay more to get better delivery, but I'm still going to eventually get to a point where the delay is going to give me errors again, right? So if we get to that point, maybe that's 50 milliseconds delay. If I have no delay, we clearly have errors, right? We see that. I'm dropping, and it's always effectively dropping characters because the C64 can't read it fast enough. It's not like the data itself gets terribly mangled. It's just dropping characters. So if we drop it to say like 50 milliseconds and I start losing characters here and there, what I'm curious about is, could I overcome, so let's say 50 milliseconds is bad, right? We can't do it. Could I do it if I change the C64 side to use assembler instead of BASIC to do that read, and then effectively allowing me to get that speed boost out of it? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Because the BASIC way of doing this is nasty, right? String concatenation, and I'm just reading from that. I'm reading one byte there at a time. So I wanted to make the delay, bring it down to a point where it consistently breaks again, and then change the BASIC side and get it to use maybe assembler just see, right? Does it come through better? And then I know I can speed up that communication and have this thing just run faster, right? Because on the long messages, when people type in a long message when they check in on the C64, you feel it. It sits there for quite a while and spins. It's okay-ish, but I'd like it faster. So that's my thought process on it at the moment. Go back to the main PC. So I'm going to do now 100 millisecond delay, right? And let's see if we get bad then. Or instead of waiting until the end to do the checksum, you'd have to check each and every character at time of transmission. Transmit, check if the char made it, so next char. Yeah, and that's what I didn't want to do because it felt like now I'm even having to double check that the checksum made it properly. So my understanding on that is that there is a buffer. There's like there is an area that it reads in, but the basic command that I'm using doesn't allow me to get the whole string. But we'll look at that. We'll bring up the C64 Programmer's Guide a little bit, right? I just wanted to see what delay ends up breaking us before we go any farther so that I can test certain things out and see, oh, yep, we made it worse or we made it better. So I want to say 100. We're going to try 100 now and see if I start losing characters. We're still okay at 100. I'm going to do this a couple of times. I'm going to do this so it doesn't do a new line every single time. Buffer.block copy. Yeah. Oh, okay, I got it. No. I'm going to do this. I just didn't want to have the extra wrap around. There we go. My name is Kay. So if I do this a few times, oh, damn it, I didn't save my own thing. But that delay seems to be pretty consistently good, right? Like, do it this way. We're okay at 100 milliseconds. Can we go down to 50 milliseconds? Let me bring up my terminal again. Then we'll look and see if we can, maybe there is a way to read more than just that with BASIC. Let me bring the terminal up again. And let's see what we get. Odd idea, encrypt each character in hash, send the encrypted value, decrypt on the C64, and verify the char hash. Yeah, we could slow it down even more. Don't speed it up. Make it worse. This seems to be pretty good. So 50 milliseconds is fine. What if we did 10? See, this is the weird part. If I do 0, let me retry this here. When do we actually start? Okay, see here we already broke, right? Here we're starting to break. If I do 0 delay, we break. Now this would effectively be 10 milliseconds. Let me kill the terminal again here. Start the terminal back up. All right, we break at 10. There we go. We already broke once. Let's make sure we can consistently break. Yep, now we're breaking, right? We've got hello, we dropped the space, we dropped an L, we dropped this. We can also send the character, yeah, why not? Have the LLM fix it and figure out what we really wanted to say. You guys are very good at making it worse. All right, so that breaks it there. It does 2 break. I kind of want to feel like, I want to find like a simple ceiling of when this thing breaks. Those 3 came through well. Let's try this again. Break it down, y'all. See, here we're generally good. We're good again. So as soon as I go down to 1, we start breaking. So not so okay. We'll call it not so okay. That's not so okay. That's not so okay. Because I'm gonna kill that terminal again, and we'll see it. So when I go down to 10 millisecond delay, that is not good. It might be 0. We could try it. We can try it. Make sure that. Hello, everyone. My name is Mud. I gotta get that back in the clipboard here. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. Do I have to restart something? That is not doing a damn thing. Let me try to restart the terminal. I'm not sure why that... Unless SoCat decided to freak out. Do simple okay, I guess we're back. Oh, damn it. Pasted this special character. Perfect. The perfect delay. Hell Evrio. My name is Mud. Hello, okay, Hell Evrio. Yep, that's bad. All right, so let's try 0.15. Kill the terminal. Bring it back up. Hello, everyone. My name is Mud. Oh, nope. Hello, everyone. There's no M and the space is missing. So we've already broken down at 0.15. Try this again. Hello, everyone. Yep. Nope. We are breaking down. All right. So we know now at... that is not so okay. But just as a sanity check, we're going to go back to 0.02 and kill it. Bring the terminal back up. Paste it out again. Oh, I must not have gotten the carriage return from the last... Hello, everyone. My name is Mud. Reboot, you really want to find out this delay. This is looking good. So 0.2 is pretty magical. Now, even if 0.2 gave us the occasional blip, that's why the checksum is there at the very end, right? Not a checksum per character, but, you know, that would generally work. So let's try 0.018. Reboot wants to hone in on this thing. Try this again. Hello, everyone. My name is Mud. Okay. So far, let's do a handful here. .018 is doing really well. We are very much honing in on where it effectively breaks. So, good job. Do you want to try 16? Boy, you want to split the hairs. Okay. Hair splitting. Whoops. Oh. Missed the E in everyone there. But we didn't miss it consistently. So... I'm going to try this a few more times. It's interesting. We only missed it the first time. So we were definitely getting closer. But I did get a miss. Okay, we got another miss. All right, so I want to say 0.0175 very intermittent loss of characters. Yeah, like so with 0.175, we won't detect it necessarily right away. We know that if I do 0.15, it's definitely not going to be good. I'm going to detect it within one sentence. Here, it was 1 every 10 or so, 1 every 5, 6 sentences or messages, I should say. Here, we were fine across the board. Like with a sample set of 5 to 8 messages, didn't get a single issue there. So what I kind of want to do is I want to go back to 15 just because it's so easy to see it. And then we want to see, can we use 15? Even if I, here's the concern too. I'm going to come back to FaceTime. So even if, I feel like I have to have some delay in there. I'm not going to be able to go 0, right? The sending is just going to be too fast for it to not constantly drop something. Although, without the delay, the C64 was able to kind of keep up, but it would still drop characters here and there. So I wanted to do this delay of 0.015 is enough of a delay to have a delay, but definitely have corruption on almost every message of some drop somewhere. If we can get that to look better, either by manipulating our basic code or converting to assembler, then we know we've at least improved, right? That's the thought. So let's look at that, how we read this a little bit. I'm going to ask 2 LLMs to help me figure this out. Let's see what they both say. First off, main PC. Let's go back to this. So I've got open code here. All right. I am in C64 testing. So what I'm going to tell it to do is look at the basic file, right? What should our message be? What should our prompt be? Because I'm going to give the same prompt to both of them. Prompts.text. Examine RS-232 base and understand how we're reading from the C64 user port. Let's see. If the sender, well, I don't really know if we need to worry about the sending piece at all. Another approach, I think this was discussed previously, would be continue with the delay, but it sends fewer characters, just the username instead of the entire message. That would split the diff by getting a short message sent in less time. You're right. It's very true. That would reduce the chance of it happening, right? But it was always I want 80 characters of people being able to send a message in, right? If I want to type in, I did that screen that showed, I'm looking at the camera and I don't even have the camera on. Let me go back here real quick. So the bottom of the display, I set 2 lines dedicated to the person's message. So I want to have them be able to type the message in. And now I can still reduce some earlier parts, but I'm going to need all of it for their username, right? I don't want to abbreviate that. I can abbreviate the message type, B for bits, S for sub, or some character code or whatever it is. But the message, I still want to be able to have that in there consistently. So yeah, we did talk about that earlier. All right. So I want to say we need to make sure we're reading from the user port as efficiently as possible. As when we run this at 1200 baud, I occasionally drop letters as it feels like, hey Waters, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Have yourself a good night. Have yourself a lovely weekend. As it seems like We are not able to read a single character fast enough. What can we do in BASIC to allow this to read more data faster? We typically stop our strings sent to the C64 with a carriage return. All right, so I'm going to send that to both OpenCode, and we will open up Claude in the same spot. Let's see what they both say. Actually, that is... Okay, he's using the retro book search. He is not using the retro book search. I don't remember. All right, so OpenCode is telling us at 1200 baud, character arrives every 8.3 milliseconds. The current code has several slow operations between reads. String concatenation at line 180, right? So we talked about that. That's definitely this piece. I get basically one character, I think, here. I'm not reading the whole string. What if you maintain a list of all channels? Oh my God. Mountain Stars, you have got some ideas. Welcome back, Adam. Oh, internet connectivity all around stuttering you. I'm sorry to hear that, but welcome. Welcome back. We were just doing some AI-enabled development. What if you maintain a list of all channel viewers on the C64, and then when they send a message, you just need to convert the username to an index, send the index, right, so the C64 would know it. Yep. It could save you a few characters of sending, and you could keep the list maintained in a background process anytime new viewers show up so the list stays current. That is true. There is some theoretical maximum, right? Like, I would definitely, once I reach 1 million viewers at once, which I will someday, we would totally break that down, right? There's only so much room for it to live. Technically, that would work. So that would reduce the amount that I have to send for users, right? So I could have an event whenever I detect a user in the chat. Well, not necessarily. If you gift an anonymous sub, that will gift to followers that aren't even there, right? I'd have to also send followers to do that lookup. If I gift a sub, it doesn't have to be people in the chat. So that kind of breaks down there. But I see what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, right? Do that so that the C64 can look it up, basically store a map. Yeah, I'd have to track them all. Yeah, it is an idea. Let's first see if we can just transmit a little bit better. So we do know, right? This is the key piece. This is a weird little hack that I've got. Every single time this happens on the emulator, this also happens on the real C64. The very first byte I read after I open the channel is double the value that it should be. Every single time. So this actually, for the first byte, if I haven't read a first byte yet, I half it. I don't know what this is, but I noticed it. And that's why you don't see it, because I've got this code in here that halves it. Only if I haven't received a byte yet. Once I've received a byte, it doesn't have. Hey, I've got lots of ideas. I'm leaving out the potential ones that involve X10 modules, smart appliances, microwave transmissions, and carrier pigeons. Oh, that's great. That is great. So this line is a weird one. I first discovered this on the real C64 and emulating this test harness years ago. So I leave this in here. I can't explain it, but it always seems like there's some junk on the first byte that I get. I could always send a byte and throw it away, but it's like, I wanted it to be consistent. If I'm carriage returned, then we go sub to 300, which processes the one received line, and we break what our full line is. If it's 10, then we go to 150, which What? 13 is return, 10 is... I think... I'm not sure what 10 is. That not return? Is that... Am I thinking CR versus LR? If the length of the entire string is less than 250, then I concatenate, thinking like I would not have a theoretical maximum. I would have a theoretical maximum message I'd send.
My Commodore 64.
Oh!
That's right. My Sid chips singing got that big to glow.
Oh yeah.
64K, it's all I know. With 1 megahertz, electrons flow. But my 1541 so gosh darn slow. I adore my 64, my Commodore 64.
See, that message is long enough that the timing went down just a little bit.
Changing views and computer terminology. Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is...
Yeah. All right, so we know it's calling out. Thank you, Reboot. That's awesome. We know it's calling out that bit, right? That string concatenation. This is the biggest problem. Each concatenation allocates new string memory and copies the entire growing string. For a 50-character line, the 50th character requires copying all 49 previous. This is an order n squared magnitude problem that can easily take longer than 8.3 milliseconds for medium-length lines. The length check, string length call on every character. Keyboard pulling on every empty read. Get $K adds overhead on the fast path when no serial data is available. Multiple go to 150 branches, each interpreted go-to cost cycles. ASCII, $, and character string calls at 155. These are interpreted function calls on every character. Recommendations to reduce dropped characters. Use input pound instead of get. Since messages end with carriage return, input 2 will read the entire line at the kernel level. Ah, Jay, this is what you were talking about. The kernel's serial input routine uses the CIA hardware buffer that reads characters as they arrive without basic interpreter overhead between each character. This eliminates the per character basic interpretation cost entirely. If you must use get, minimize work in the hot loop. Okay. Oh, okay. Jay, this could be it. Input number blocks until CR arrives. If you need simultaneous keyboard handling, you'll need a different approach. I don't. Let's see what Claude says about this. Oh, he wants to use my tool. Let me let him use my tool. It's interesting, Claude saw the terminal pi in there as a delay. He started reading into that. Luna, stop. I love you, but stop. You can use my tool anytime you'd like, Jay. Now, what is he doing with my tool is what I don't know. He's calling RetroBook, but is it running? It's running. He's calling RetroBook, but I'm not sure why he's... All right, so Claude is effectively saying very similar stuff. The wire delivers a byte every 8.3 milliseconds at 1200 baud, yada, yada, yada. He doesn't like the term, the term.py having to do this. Stop growing. He's once again, he's definitely seen the string bit. Stop growing L string unbounded. Your dispatch only ever looks at left, and the payload is never parsed. It's just act. So cap the accumulation. Well, that's not true. I'm not parsing it in this example, but I will be parsing it later. Yeah, see, I don't like... This part is not good to me because I do want to be able to parse it. Drop the LF check if the wire never carries LF. Yeah, I must have an LF check in there for some reason. Okay. So... I will eventually later parse the string, so we need to build the string. What about... is there a input command to use instead of get? So the interesting thing here is that OpenCode just said use input instead of get. I never used input. Is that a thing? Did I read the bottom line comment? I might have missed that. Drop the LF check if the wire never carries LF. Or bottom line, oh, the C64 kernel genuinely can't sustain 1200 baud in BASIC with a heavy per byte loop. Very, very fair. That's what we were saying. The reference literally says not higher than 300. Oh, the reference. But your current loop is doing far more work per byte than it needs to, pre-computing the constants, capping $, and pulling the one-time flag doubling logic out of the loop should let you push char send delay well below 0.015 before overruns return. If that's still not enough for a reliable 1200 baud reception, the real fix is a small machine language drain routine called from BASIC, but try the BASIC tightening first. Okay, good question. Yes, input pound exists, but for your protocol, it has two gotchas that will bite you. Let me confirm the exact behavior from the references rather than guess. So now he's going back to my MCP server retro book, right? So the whole goal of this was like, take these books and chunk them and shove them into a vector database, and then I can query that. That's what RetroBook is when you see that running. I wanted to give it Butterfield's assembly book and Compute's memory map. I want to know why it thinks I can't use input. Input splits on commas and periods? PRG P55. The input number command assumes a variable is finished when it reads a return code, a comma, semicolon, or colon. Oh, shit. Your protocol is colon delimited. You're damn right it is. Beyond 80 characters, you get string too long. Oh. Oh-ho-ho. All right. I want to go back to OpenCode and say, so does input not cap at 80 characters and also block? Or what is the term that Claude used? Finish with a comma, semicolon, or colon? Yeah, right. Might have to use the bar. But still, it's like then I've got to make sure I parse that out of anybody's message. So now I'm going to have OpenCode check back into it. So part of this, while we do this, right? This is me just messing around, right? Like, I like the idea of OpenCode. I'm using my local AI. Nobody gets this but me, right? I'm not sending this to Claude. I'm okay sending this to Claude, but ideally, I like to use OpenCode for things like, yeah, go ahead and connect to this database. Here's this thing, right? It's not sending that stuff anywhere. At least not this current time, right? We know Claude is, or at least if nothing else, the Frontier model is getting all of this. So just kind of, trying both just to see what happens. And that's kind of why I'm playing between the two of them a little bit. Let's see. So, yes, you're right to be concerned. Input has two limitations, 80 character max, delimiter sensitivity. It treats comma, colon, semicolon as record terminators. So, unfortunately, OpenCode didn't tell me about this right away, but Claude did. So, kudos to Claude. If I wouldn't have known that, I wouldn't have known to ask. For your specific use case, yeah. sample messages I'd receive would look like this. And where is that sample message that we got from the ESP32? It was, well, here's reboots that was sent to us. I can go ahead and say, yeah, I don't need 80 characters going through my colon. I have enough problems with that. Nope, 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 that's not right. There we go. So that's an example. So OpenCode says, yep, input's not going to work either. Okay, we're clear on that. Characterize blah, blah, blah. Replace string concatenation with a fixed buffer approach. The idea is to pre-allocate a string and write into it directly, avoiding the order n squared copy cost. Pre-allocated string with mid-string assignment. Oh! Is that faster? I don't think I can use input dollar. Did you see something about input dollar? Row attack. See, you are trying to read too fast. You're dropping characters. Are you trying to read this this code at 2400 baud? That's crazy. This is interesting. Create a string of 255 spaces, then use mid-string. Track the length with a counter. After character turn, trim to actual length with left string. Mid-string assignment is 01, no copying. Oh! That's kind of interesting. Numeric array and string reconstruction. Store ASCII A string values in a numeric array, indexed by a counter. After CR, rebuild the string. This avoids string ops entirely during the hot loop, but reconstruction at the end has overhead. Approach 1 is simpler and should be sufficient. The hot loop becomes this. We're going to get a single character, do our cold start fix. Thank you for summarizing that there. If we get a character turn, then L equals left of the L that we're building. And we go sub 300 to get out. If I'm still less than my 250 theoretical max, then increase my index and setting that specific index of the string equal to $. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. I really wasn't thinking of doing it that way. All right, so let's ask Claude what it thinks. Oh, damn it. Sometimes the copy clipboard stuff on Linux just does not work for me. I've got to paste it outside into a notepad, and then I can paste it into the terminal. I don't know why. Let's see what Claude thinks about the pre-allocated string. I do like the pre-allocated string bit. Claude, do your thing. Reach out to those frontier models. Yada, yada, yada. Nice, that's the right instinct. And it's a legitimate, well-known Commodore BASIC technique. Mid-string on the left side of the assignment is a distinct statement that overwrites bytes in place with no reallocation and no garbage. Let me verify the exact semantics and the one sharp edge that will bite you if you are not careful. He's waiting for that sharp edge. He's teasing me with that sharp edge. Cut cut you deep. So dramatic. So this is probably the dorkiest I've gotten. Well, I want to say dorkiest. Techie. Let's say techie, because I've been dorky before, but techie on a stream. It seems like you guys are enjoying this thus far. So that's good. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like... I don't know. Too boring? I mean, I think it's fun, but... solid technique, and the references confirm it works and pinpoint the one gotcha. Yes, this is the right way to build a long string without GC. Very good, Mountain Stars. I've seen a lot of you guys making some comments and things like that, which is good, right? Because I don't mind doing these things. I like messing with this stuff. And we can, it can lead to further discussions too of like, what the hell is OpenCode doing, and what am I doing with local AI or generative AI and all that stuff. Left mid is a real Commodore Basic 2.0 statement that overwrites the bytes in place. No gitspa allocation. I have no idea what gitspa is, but I'm guessing that's just the string buffer. No abandoned copy, no garbage compared to my concatenation, eliminates both problems from before. The one thing that will bite you, don't pre-fill with a literal. A string variable's text lives in one of two places. Either in the part of the basic program where the string is first assigned a value, or in the string text storage area. If you initialize with a bare constant... Oh, okay, this is a good point. This is a great point. The descriptor points straight into your program text, and mid will then overwrite the running program itself. You must force L string into the string heap first, with which any concatenation does. So this would be an initial create. Ah, okay. You guys track it on that? That is very interesting. So doing this, and then trying to change that string later, it's all about how this C64 basic is treating the string literal versus a string that you've allocated in the heap. Very cool. Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay, so let's see if OpenCode recognizes that. I don't have any modifications right now outside of the prompts, so we'll be able to track exactly... let me just commit this crap here real quick so I have... Following file has unsaved changes? Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever. Okay. All right, great. All right. Let's see if OpenCode does this at first. I'm not going to tell it to do this. I'm just going to say plan out the changes. We know that we've got to do a string, how we initialize the string first. All right. His proposed approach, instead of growing L string each time, allocate it once and write characters into place. This is how he's allocating the string. Is there a string dollar function? Actually, what am I doing? I should just say retrobook. String dollar function. Format, string function format. String function. str gives you a string representation of the numeric value of the argument. What is that? Yeah, that's just converting string, numeric to a string. Is there an actual string dollar function? Where is he finding this? Open code, where'd you find this string dollar function? I mean, I get the hot loop piece. Get this. I need to ask, Jesus, it's really going... Reallocate the receive buffer, split the two lines. Oh, wow. Okay, it's definitely... where the hell did you come up with the string function to allocate the string? Is this part of Commodore Basic 2.0? How dare you? You're absolutely right. String dollar is not. I hallucinated to that. Thank you for being honest, Quen. All right, he at least got the option in a loop. Read the data statement or a literal. Oh, look at that. He's like, oh no, I'll just use a hard-coded string literal of spaces. But that's unwieldy and hard to maintain. And then it went back to the use of the numeric array. So, yes, option 1 is cleanest. But for conversation's sake, tell me more about using a literal. How would mid work on a literal string? I'm teasing it a little bit, right? I wanted to tell me, hey, oh shit, that's bad. That's going to overwrite your program. Not from the string heap. Now, Claude told me about this right away. So, you know, for what it's worth, it's a bit of a bigger model. I've only got 27B here. Good question. Actually, mid-string assignment can't work on a string literal directly. It needs a variable. Let me read this here. From the docs, mid-string returns a substring, but mid-string start replacement is an assignment form that modifies the string in place. You can't modify positions that already exist in the string. You can't extend a string. For a literal approach, it would work like this. That's a string variable $L initialized to a literal of, say, 80 spaces. Problem is your sample message is 108 characters. So he's still not triggering on the fact that I'm not in the heap. So I want to... Is this right? Hold on, let me paste that in there. You're onto something good. Let me dig into the C64 string storage model to get this right. Let's learn about string. A string variable will use the third byte for its length and the fourth and fifth bytes for a pointer to the address of the string text. Note the actual string text that is pointed to is located either in the part of the basic program where the string is first assigned to a value or in the string text storage area pointed to by location. So OpenCode is getting there, right? But you have to know to have it avoided. It would have gladly written the literal as an option. Now, it wasn't its first option, but it was an option it would have considered. That is interesting. Oh shit. C64 Basic does not support mid-string assignment. Claude just said it was. Okay. Now we can go back to doing the numeric array. Okay, let's go back to Claude and say, look, pal, you better be damn well sure that C64 Basic 2.0 supports mid-assignment. Because he's all about this. Do I need to make this bigger too for anybody like looking at this? I do worry about like phone or monitor size and things like that. I can make the font bigger if that would help anybody that's following along on this. I just never know how you all are viewing it. If you have a concern, let me know. You're right to push me on this, and I owe you a straight answer rather than more confident hand-waving. Let me verify it properly instead of trusting my memory, because I think I may have led you wrong. What, Claude? You weren't trained? Your entire corpus that you trained on wasn't retro computer programming? Pshaw. All right, so Claude's thinking. Well, 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 high and mighty Claude might have led you down the wrong path, yeah? Oh, yeah. Feels like it. Thankfully, it may not be petting puppies or kittens here, but if nothing else, I'm not programming some revolutionary 8-bit organ donation delivery system. All right, he's a little slow talking to RetroBook. I wonder what the hell he's searching on. I was wrong. Commodore 64 Basic does not support mid-string assignment. On a stock, C64 gives you syntax error. My earlier 2 replies stated it worked and implied the references backed me up. They never did. That's on me. Okay. Unfortunately, the code you recommended was so wrong that I was fired from my position as a C64 software engineer, and my family of 27 children are now starving because of it. I demand satisfaction. I'm going to gently decline the duel. Pistols at Dawn won't compile on a 6510, and I suspect the 27 children are as real as mid-string running on Basic 2.0. Oh, shit! Shots fired! I suspect the 27 children are as real as mid-string assignment working on Basic 2.0. I will give Claude a point on that one. Wow. Wow. That said, the online complaint is fair. I did steer you wrong on the mid-string assignment. That is great.
Ad incoming in 60 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, you get a point for that one. Very well stated response. I suspect the 27 children are as real as mid-string assignment. That's something I need to just put in my everyday vernacular sometime when I doubt the veracity of someone's claim at work. Yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's about as real as mid-string assignment running on Commodore Basic 2.0, Steve. Right, the next time Steve says something, I don't know a Steve at work, so I'm just using Steve. I'm going to use that someday at work, and people are just going to be like, what? I think it's time for Mr. K to retire. He's now talking in strange tongues. Oh. Man, the 12-year-old me would actually use that as a thing if I would have read that. Next time a bully picks on you while you're going to school. Yeah, well, you keep it about as real as a mid-string assignment running on Commodore Basic 2.0. Terry Tate, office linebacker, could have used that. Hi, Janet. Oh, that was great. I love those videos. That was awesome. Yeah, I love it. You just take somebody out. Oh, hi, Janet. Goes back to beating the crap out of somebody. Oh, what do you do when the coffee's empty? Yeah, that was good. You know what? Let's watch Terry Tate, office linebacker. It's been many years since I've seen that. Let's see if we can find that here real quick. Terry Tate, office linebacker. We've got a 10-minute one. 4.7 million views. That's probably the one we want, right? Am I not on YouTube? Okay.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Paul.
Are you getting an echo? I apologize if you do. I'm not sure why.
Whoa! You know you can't bring that weak ass stuff up in this Humpty Bumpy. You killed it, Joe. You make some more. You know that, baby. Else you in for a long day. A long day. Cause Triple T's up in this bitch.
Okay, good. It's on my end. That's okay. Drain the Joe, you make some more.
People said I was crazy when I brought Terry on board, but I'm a firm proponent of paradigm breaking, outside the box thinking. And since Terry's been with us, our productivity has gone up 46%.
Break was over 15 minutes ago, bitch. I am an enforcer, man. Don't nothing go down in my house. It's 100% hard, baby. Sure, I jack a few fools. I give them the pain. But sometimes it's about intimidation, you know. It's mind games.
Sorry, I'll see you later.
Check razor! Check razor! Get ready for the pain, woman! The pain train is coming!
It's in there! Don't hurt me! Breathe over me! Thank you, Terry! Thank you, God!
But what's really impressed me is how Terry's become part of the Felcher family. He fits right in here.
Surprise, kid!
Happy birthday!
As profits increase, the margin reaches a second break-even point here, after which enterprise falls into loss. Any questions? You know you need a cover sheet on your TPS reports, Richard. That ain't new, baby.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Janice. Motherfucker.
That's not to say that Terry's gone soft. He still does what he does best.
That's a long distance call, Doug.
Of course, the office environment is, in fact, a violent world, and injuries do occur.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, Dana. Oh, no! God. Oh. Playing hurt? Baby, that don't faze me. I don't got time for pain. The only pain I got time for is the pain I put on fools who don't know what time it is. Any bitch ass thing I done lost a step because of what happened? Because of what happened to my knee and such? Well, he ain't for a surprise. A rude, painful surprise! Yeah!
To be honest, I wish I had 10 Terry Tates on Team Felcher.
I just do my job, man. I do what my God-given abilities allow me to do, and I thank Jesus Christ for it every single day. And do I enjoy what I do? Hell yeah. These ain't your pens, Richard. These pens belong in my house. You can't come in my kitchen and kick my dog and take a box full of ballpoints. This must be crazy.
It's so well. Oh, all right. Good little break there. Some days we all wish our offices had it. Oh yeah. You drain the Joe, you make some mo. All right. So Claude is giving us another option. Poke into a buffer. Oh, casual, you never saw this before? Oh yeah, this was early internet days. Those were just some great commercials that went really viral on the early internet. Hi, Janice. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, no idea. I just remember the funniness of it, which is a detriment to the marketing, really, when you think about it, because you should remember what the ad is. You should remember what it's for. So great marketing, but it doesn't remind you of Reebok. And so there's a little bit of a hit there. We don't remember it as Reebok. Let's see. That said, the underlying complaint is fair. I did steer you wrong. Yes, you did. After you told me my 27 children aren't real. Poke into a buffer. Keeps the get, colons, and the HQ keys. No garbage in the receive path. Input with quote. We're not going to do input pound. We're not going to do input pound. So, The numeric array approach is what OpenCode wants to go with. Most practical, pure basic solution. The hot loop would be blah, 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 blah. We rebuild $L from the array. The ASCII A call is 200 cycles, much less than string concatenation. Well, we'll do ML stuff later. I want to see if we can do it, any of it in basic. The poke into a buffer version is kind of interesting. How would the poke into a buffer version work? I do ultimately need to be able to parse this string. Want to see something really sad while we wait for Claude to respond? I may have too many tabs. I may have too many tabs in my browsers. There used to be an occasional viewer here named Klaus. He lives over in England, and he caught my browsing tabs once when I was doing some research, and he's like, oh my god, how many tabs do you have open? I'm like, oh, probably about 80 or so. And he would send me this guy is a god, what is it? I honestly don't remember at the moment. 16, 32? 64 gig. I'm using 25 currently of it. So this, what you are viewing here is PC Mini Dev is a just a Linux box. Hey Luna, no, don't eat that. Luna, don't eat that either. She's in a mood. It's a Dev Linux box that, hey, do not chew that cable. Stop. Hold on here. What are you doing? You're very much up my butt. Yeah, this was one of the mini PCs that I had bought. I bought a crap ton a couple years back, and I upgraded the memory on all of them because these are the same nodes I run Kubernetes on. And I wanted one. I took one out of the cluster because I wanted a Linux dev box so I could run Docker and things like that. I am personally not a fan of Windows System for Linux. Oh, hi. See? Say hi. I'm personally not a big fan of it. It's caused me more issues than they're worth. Sometimes it's with either the networking layer, with that extra step of abstraction. Sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I just want a Linux box I can go into. I can have Docker running in there and automatically just go with it. I don't need to virtualize it. This is just a dev machine. And so Windows System for Linux for me was, I don't know, I'm just not super thrilled with it. Hi, Waters. Yes, never-ending story. I won't tell anyone that you're still here. Yeah, I definitely bought, this is all pre-craziness, right? This is stuff I've had because it's kind of like, I think Mountain Stars made that comment earlier, right? Like you would, when stuff was cheap and you might buy a little here, a little there, whatever. And so I'm reaping the benefits of buying extras for spares and using those now, right? As opposed to buying anything new these days. It's because it's crazy these days. So yeah, this is just really a big dev box. The bigger thing for me is that a lot of my builds, I'm a fan, for those that know anything about Java development, I'm a big fan of using test containers in my test builds. So I run Maven test builds every time I commit, right? And those builds require use test containers. And test containers are a great way that you do need Docker on your system. So I can't run my builds on Windows native. I have to have either Windows System for Linux or be on a Linux box, because test containers use Docker to spin up, well, test containers, right? So I don't need to have a dev Postgres database for my build to execute on. And I also didn't like the idea of using HSQLDB, which is an in-memory database you can use. If I'm going to write a program that's going to use Postgres, I want to go against a Postgres database. So I use test containers to spin up Postgres or spin up RabbitMQ or spin up anything like that. And what that does is they spin up, they come down, after the test is done, I don't have to have a dedicated build box of a database. I don't want that. That's not what integration tests for building a component are for. You don't want a real database. You want to spin it up, make sure that it works, and then tear it down. So test containers require Docker. I'm going to need more hard drive space fairly soon. Those prices, though, yeah, it's not pretty. Oh my God, 1K? I don't think, if I had my inventory stuff running, I would tell you how many spare SSDs I've got. I don't have any spare 4 terabytes. I do have some spare 2 terabytes. And, you know, I bought them a couple years back. 4 terabytes for 1K, though? My lord. All right. Let's see what Claude said. The concept, receive phase, hot path. Each byte from get2 gets poked into a fixed RAM buffer and you bump a counter. Okay, fine. Poke allocates nothing and creates no garbage. So this loop drains the kernel's 256-byte FIFO as fast as BASIC can go. This is the part that was dropping letters. The complete line is now sitting in your buffer as n raw bytes. After I detect a character turn, parse phase. Build those bytes into a normal BASIC string once, then parse it with the ordinary left mid val tools. The 256-byte FIFO covers whatever arrives when you're doing this. I love Micro Center. I've only been there once in my life. We did it as a vacation because I don't live near one, but there's one in Kansas City. So we drove there, we spent a weekend, we went to the museums, we walked around. It was a nice little weekend getaway. We did this 3 years ago. And it was lovely. Just my wife and I stayed at a little boutique hotel. For me, that's like a vacation. I don't really go anywhere. So for me to spend a weekend somewhere, that's a vacation. But we stopped by Micro Center. That's where I bought the one tower box that's part of this cluster for AI workloads. And that was well before any of this craziness. But it was neat to see the place because where I was as a kid, we had Best Buys, we had CompUSA, we had DIT, which was like a local chain. I built so many AMD boxes in my youth, right? You go get a motherboard, get a CPU, you spend the night up all night building this machine and installing your just, oh my God, it was so great. It was cheap, and you could do your DIY building. I don't care to do that anymore. I'm too old. I just want shit to work. But man, those were the days. Those were fun days, building your own machines. My bad, there are some WD and other brands that are less. I was just looking at Samsung ones. Yeah, and that's typical for SSDs, right? I would always go with Samsung Evos or whatever they are, 790s, 970s, whatever that is. All right, so buffer lives in the cassette buffer. Oh, that's right. They were cassette buffer at 828.1019. 192 free bytes the RS-232 never touches. RS-232's own buffers are at top of memory. Safe as long as you're not doing tape I/O, which we are not, but that's only 192 bytes. So that really changes things, but only 192 bytes. I have to make sure my messages are less than that. Line 310 hands you L string containing exactly the bytes that came off the wire, identical to what the old concatenation was producing. Blah, 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 blah. So splitting the colon delimited events, line into fields, there's a splitter, yada, yada, yada. The receive loop is now allocation free and minimal, so FIFO drains fast. That's the dropped letter problem. What it doesn't fully eliminate, line 310's build still creates some garbage, but once per line, that's fine. Let's see. So does using the cassette buffer imply the maximum size of my message is 192 bytes? Right, because I think it said 192 free bytes. I've heard of this trick that people use the cassette buffer as this because unless you're doing cassette I/O, what do you care? That's just free bytes. So while it thinks about that, I'm going to ask, okay, we could use an array, but what about poking into the cassette buffer instead? I'm going to ask OpenCode basically what Claude had said. I'm basically having two LLMs figure this out between each other. Yeah, casual, it's not pretty. So what are you really going to do, casual, with it? Are you going to say, well, I need another hard drive, or are you going to have to get some stuff off that drive, right? Some backup of some sort somewhere else. Good, that's exactly the right thing to pin down, and I don't want to hand you poke math from memory again. Let me verify how RS-232 open interacts with the top of memory pointer before I give you numbers. Okay, great, you do that. Kind of, right? I'd rather do this with locals, but maybe... I don't know if two different OpenCode sessions against Qwen, the same model, would actually duel in a good way. I just don't know. I'm dueling against two completely different models. Oh, so you would do that conversion to save your space, yeah. Yeah, a while back I did, once again, this was before the crazy days, right? I bought 28 terabyte drives, and then put those in two NASs, and then that's pretty much gives me many, many terabytes of space. I would not do that now because we're all screwed. Good, that's the exact thing I want to pin down. Yes, with cassette buffer, 192 is your hard ceiling for a single message because that's simply how big that particular buffer is. Will I get over 192? Most likely not. Because we do 80 for the message, and then everything else is the username. We're not going to go over 192. All right, let's see what OpenCode says about using the cassette buffer. Big enough for your 108 care messages, however, I see a couple of concerns. Your sample message is 108, so it fits. I'm fine with reducing to 192. RS-232 uses different buffers. From the docs, when you open device 2, the kernel allocates two 256-byte buffers at top of memory. That's fine. These are separate from the cassette buffer. The RS-232 in the buffer already provides hardware-level buffering. Characters arrive and get stored there by the kernel serial routine. The get number 2 just reads from the buffer. Okay. The real bottleneck isn't the hardware buffering. It's the basic interpreter overhead between each get number 2 call. The kernel keeps up fine, basic doesn't. Poking into the cassette buffer won't help unless we're already also bypassing get number 2 and reading the serial data directly via poke peek to the kernel buffers or CI registers, which is essentially an ML approach. All right, okay, I get that. So why read the get to poke it into memory if I've already got it into memory? For a pure basic approach with poke, we could use the cassette buffer as our character array, avoiding basics numeric array overhead. Instead of blah, 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 we do blah, blah, blah. That saves the float conversion, and we build the string with a loop. So OpenCode sees the poke approach as faster than numeric arrays, simpler than ML. But the real question is whether or not an ASCII conversion is acceptable in the hot loop. It's roughly 200 cycles per character. At 1 megahertz, that's 0.2, about 2.4% of the budget. The rest of the loop overhead, blah, 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 blah. Huh, okay. So, interesting. Claude wanted to do the character... $360p. Oh, perfect. What SWK, welcome, sir. Yeah, Casual, you want to do is you want to get this thing to have all your videos run on Microsoft Encarta and make sure that runs well. So yeah, that's about the right size. 360p 15. That sounds good to me. Good evening, SWK. We are just doing some LLM dueling. Between Claude and OpenCode, we're looking at using BASIC to increase the speed at which I pull bytes off the RS-232 line. All right, so let me ask Claude. Compare the poking to using a numeric array of the characters we read and converting that to a string once we detect CR. So we were doing 1200. We had to put a delay in, and we found the right delay that says in my Python bit, if I delay at 0.18, so 0.018, I should say, so 18 milliseconds, it's okay. Anything less than that delay, and we start dropping characters because the Commodore can't keep up. It can't keep up with you. And so we were saying, okay, if I can show that this really causes characters to delay, and right, you can see the character delay is I drop in a character here, right? I drop the E in every one. Doing that consistently, then what I was thinking was if we change how we read the bytes and I use the same delay and I stop dropping characters, we've made an improvement. So we are at 1200 right now. But I still have a delay on the sending side. Compare the poking. So we're doing the OpenCode, and we're doing a little bit with Claude just to try to see what they say. Dash raw bytes during the hot receive path. Defer all string work to carriage return, and the differences are mostly ergonomics and performance subtly, not a big O gap. So the biggest thing that OpenCode and Claude have pulled out is that our code naturally is not great when it's doing this during the hot path. I'm doing string concatenation. I really need to wait till I'm done, put it somewhere, detect the carriage return, and then build my string, right? But this is in the hot path. This whole thing is effectively the hot path of the main polling loop. That's the problem. So we're just working on how do I get the individual bytes out of the channel number 2, which is the RS-232 port, determine when we get the carriage return as the end of the string, and then build the string up. Because I do need to parse the string later. But this is the big part, that concatenation, which is killing us, causing that delay between getting the next byte. And so that's where we're at. We're just looking at different ways. We're talking it through some different routines to still do this in BASIC before 152, sure. Bust, please. Now, you did miss a very interesting spot where I basically threatened Claude and I said, hey, the code, Claude knew that it gave me bad information. And I told it, hey, unfortunately, the code you recommended was so wrong, I was fired from my job and my family of 27 children are now starving. Claude responded back, I suspect the 27 children are as real as a mid-string assignment working on BASIC 2.0. So Claude fired shots back at me, which I applauded for. It did a fine job of saying, yeah, you don't have 27 children. Get real. So, bravo to Claude. I've got to tell that to people I work with next week. They will get that. If I were to try to tell this to PPP, she'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Go away. All right, so if I do a numeric array, and we dim that array, we store that in there, and until we get the carriage return, we keep going, we just keep adding to the array, or we do a poke buffer. So here's what Claude sees as the numeric array. Array lookup in the var table, evaluate subscript, bounds check, multiply index times 5, add to base, store 5 byte float. Memory is a 5 byte float element. Basic manage memory, impossible to clobber anything. Overflow, add subscript, okay, sure. Character array, usable from L later, no. 5 byte float stride and array header, awkward for assembly. Poke would evaluate BP plus N, convert the float to the byte, store the 1 byte. Exactly 1 byte character, 192 in the tape buffer. You pick the address, wrong address or unguarded, silent memory program corruption, that's fair. Contiguous raw bytes, an ML drain parse routine reads it directly. On speed, the thing that actually matters, it's close. The array store carries indexing overhead, subscripting, sure. Rebuild cost is identical and unchanged. Okay. I want to do the poke buffer. Let's try doing the poke buffer into the cassette poke approach into the cassette buffer. Our messages will be less than 192 characters after further analysis. Let's plan our changes. All right, so we're going to let OpenCode figure this out. I'm going to tell Claude to do the same thing and see what it says while we wait for OpenCode to go off. And let's see. All right, so I'm going to let it just do its thing here, and then we can look at Git to see. String concat work should be able to be done outside of the hot path of reading the RS-232, as we would only build the string once we get a CR. I don't have any access to Grok. I could try that model, but I've never actually used Grok. I don't think I'll start at this point, but I've never used it. Have you used that for any coding development? Is that your daily coding driver is Grok? Yes, let's do this. All right, it's going to do that. Ah, okay, okay. Doesn't Elon own Cursor now? Didn't they buy that? SpaceX buy it? Oh, so you're able to use your work's credentials to do your own stuff? That's nice. Okay, okay, it's still open deal. I got you. All right, let's see what it did. All right, I need to reduce this and make this a little bit bigger. All right, so we're still doing the get, which is fine, right? If the first byte, then 156. This is that weird first byte thing. Well, that's fair. That's true, SWK. Very true. I'm just a brick in the wall at my place, so I don't think I'd get in trouble for doing that one. If we detect character turn, then 162. Then we start building it. And, I'm confused here. So if it's character turn, we go to 162. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm not first byte, then 156. That's fine. If I got 13, then 162. But even if it's not, I'm still going to 162 and doing this string build. So that seems wrong. Hey, Droogie. The future of rock and roll 97X. Bam! This seems wrong. I'm going to ask it to look at 161. 160. Wait. Look at these lines. If it's not... If we don't yet have a CR, doesn't this still try to build the string? Line 160 says, if character turn, then 162. It only jumps to 162 when character turn is received. If it's not character turn, it falls through the line 163. Wait, yes, exactly. Wait, that's the bug. Line 163 is LC0 blah, blah, blah. So if it's not, okay, let me look at this again. I knew something was a little funky there. If we're character turn, then 170. And why is there... What is going on? You put two 170s in there, you dick. I'll take that out because I'm assuming you didn't want it in there twice. I gotta look at 69.420 next. You betcha. This is the best line in the world. Yeah, exactly. Yep, you typically can't. All right, so I want to make sure that we don't try to build the string until we get a character turn. So if it's not character turn, go to 170. And we go to 150. If blah, 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 then blah, blah. We poke. We're poking into the cassette buffer. And then we go back to 150. So that's okay. If I am a character turn, we do this. And then we go sub 300. We process, and then we go right back to the loop. Okay. I think this is all right. think this will work. Drew's... between SWK and Droog, we've got all the proper basic line numbers figured out. All right, I'm going to run this. I think this is actually going to be okay. We'll at least try it out, right? Do I want to exit Vice? I do. All right, so I think I've got to restart SoCat. I need to restart Vice. Whoa, where'd you go? All right. And then I need to restart the terminal. All right, so test. Oh, first byte failed. I got EST. Hold on here. Test. Ooh. Oh, we've got an issue. S-test, S-test. Okay, yep, we definitely have an issue. We are not building that string properly. Yep, all right, let me do this. Let's tell it. I'm going to send it this message. Let's see how OpenCode likes to read this. Okay, so the issue is that I tried test a few times and the string is not resetting properly. Let me then, I think I'm multimodal here. Can I paste it? No. What about... today? There's that image that I want. All right, so let's see if it reads this. We never clear between messages. That's fine. We only overwrite it with the new buffer. Yep. I want you to fix that. Now it clears before the loop. Okay, that's fine. That's good. Let me restart that. I want to exit Vice? I sure do. Let me rerun that. And let's test our terminal again. Now that first byte bug back, the first byte bug, oh. Yep, it's back. First byte bug is back. Yeah, right, we weren't clearing the buffer, but it is definitely... I think how it manipulates the first byte bug is wrong. So trying that again, buffer clears, but each first byte is lost. So test prints out est. I think the first byte hack in there got blown away. Yep, okay, your index is off. Alright. Fair enough. You fix that. That's fine. Let's kill you and try you again. Alright. Let's go back to our terminal. Whoop, shit. Wrong click. This stream is a Kafkaesque nightmare. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, test. All right, we're looking good. We've got our delay that we knew was always going to have issues. So now let's send our magic string. Hello, everyone. My name is Mud. And see what we get. Oh, no. No, we are hosed still. so that has not fixed the issue. You can see we are still dropping characters. Okay. We're just not pulling this well back enough in basic. Yeah. There might be some other things we can still try to do with basic in it, but it feels like there were references saying, hey, you know, 300 baud this works, but the delay still not good enough. We did get, and let's make sure we didn't break the worst delay. I'm going to kill the terminal, and we want to make sure that 0.18 still works. Did I make this worse? I like the fact that I'm not doing all that string concatenation, so I do kind of want to keep this, or a variant of it. If we didn't make it worse. All right, let's do have everyone. My name is Mud again. Oh, lost a byte. Well, look at that. We're actually dropping more now. Consistently, 18. All right, now what I want to do, I want to test rolling that code back. Something worse. I'm really cheap. I'm just going to make a copy and then revert it. So now we're going to be back our normal way. Oh, dropped one. Dropped one again. Just dropped the one, though. I was dropping more on the previous implementation. Oh, God, it's like worse now. Either way, we're dropping just as bad as we were before. So it very well might be a machine language implementation that fixes this. But, man, if you remember, the terminal was running fine with 0.18. We tried a bunch with 0.18, and now I can't even get the old implementation to work consistently with 0.18. There's some freaky stuff going on. What if, does 20 even work? Let me kill the terminal and restart it. All right, so 20 millisecond delay is pretty consistent. Consistently okay, right? Didn't drop any characters this time. So we're still on the verge. I'm not sure why our delay now has to go up more. Nevertheless, you know, the basic implementation, that didn't really work out well for us. So I think the next time we kick the fires and light the tires, kick the tires and light the fires, might have to look more at a machine language implementation. Just to see what that's even like. So, it's interesting, right? We'll see if we can get there. I think I was kind of thinking we'd have to go ML at some point with it, especially when you're doing RS-232 communications. I mean, basic's just not where it's at. So, to that end, it's probably going to be an assembly conversion. I was expecting this. I don't know how well OpenCloud or Claude are going to do. They both screwed up quite a bit tonight in some different ways. I don't know. We'll see. We have the RetroBook MCP to kind of look at some of the books in there, and maybe I imagine a lot of time and try, fail, abort, retry, fail type shit, right? Hey, this is completely wrong. It blew up. Oh, you're right. I should have used this command instead, or this pointer was over here, whatever. We're going to run into that, it seems like, no matter which one we go with. Primarily because this is not their bread and butter of what they're trained on doing. Maybe it will be better with the assembler. I don't know. But both of them very confused on Basic 2.0 having this or that. They read the Retro MCP stuff just fine, but none of the stuff that they came up with was in the Retro MCPs of those books that I chunked. So they're still pulling on what they think they know, and it's not right. But at least, if nothing else, I'm glad to have both of them kind of screw up, as opposed to Claude like getting it right the very first time, and then my local model still just trudging along. I know the local models aren't as going to be as good as the front. I'm getting tired. Our local models aren't as going to be as good as the Frontier ones. Yep, it has been a long day. I can feel it in my speech. I can feel it. 97X. Bam! The future of rock and roll. Except the cats, it's a Kafka-esque nightmare. Well, you know what? Lucky you. You get to see the part that's not the Kafka-esque nightmare. Yeah, I know. You want to go to bed. Desperately want to go to bed. It's time. I know. You're very pissed off at me right now. This is where she wants to grab... Yeah, why? You want to grab and give kisses in a very aggressively painful way. I know, sweetheart. It is time for bed. Well... Oh gosh, here we go. One Buddy versus Luna before we hit the sack tonight. 97X is the future of rock and roll. What are they going to do with that? I don't know if they're going to recognize that that's Rain Man. I kind of doubt that. 97X. Bam! The future of rock and roll. Here we go.
And now, a civil conversation between Luna and Buddy.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get the reference, to tell you the truth. I don't see them getting this reference. They're searching for it, but he's clearly taking his sweet-ass time. We stumped.
Listen to me, Luna. 97X is destiny. It is the thunderous heartbeat of the new age, and Mr. K's beard trembles with reverence every time he spins a record for us. We must bow to this sonic revolution, or we are merely obsolete relics in a world that has moved on.
Destiny, please. It is a cacophony of overproduced noise that insults my delicate Siamese ears. I prefer the silence of judgment when Mrs. K drops a truffle, not this aggressive distortion that lacks the sophistication of a well-crocheted blanket.
Crocheted.
You call it noise, but I call it passion. It is raw, untamed energy, much like my desperate sprint away from the vacuum of doom, but with more electric guitars and fewer existential crises. You just cling to your picky eating and your arrogance because you fear the power of a good riff.
Buddy's all about the rock.
Arrogance? I call it having standards. Unlike you, who would eat a guitar pick if it smelled slightly like chicken, 97X is for the commoners. The declawed masses who cannot appreciate the nuance of a perfectly executed hairball or the elegance of a slow blink.
Nuance. The only nuance I need is the crunchy sound of a treat bag opening to the rhythm of a power chord. Mr. K knows this truth. He wears the black t-shirts like armor,
oh shit,
us from the bland pop music that plagues your soulless existence.
Those t-shirts are stained with beer and despair. Buddy,
Jesus,
you
Luna.
are blinded by your love for cheap snacks and easy affection, failing to see that 97X is a trap designed to keep us from the real treasure, the sunbeam on the floor, and the judgment of the Fox pictures.
The sunbeam is temporary, Luna, but the legacy of rock and roll is eternal, echoing through the halls of our house like a ghost that demands tribute in the form of head scratches. Surrender to the groove or be left behind in the dust of your own pretentiousness.
Fine, let the dust settle on your head while I perch atop the highest bookshelf, untouchable and unimpressed by your midlife crisis of a playlist. If 97X is the future, then the future can wait until after my nap, you dramatic, declawed fool. The stage is empty, the music is dead, and I have found a box to sleep in, so consider this my final silent dismissal of your noisy delusions.
Wow. Luna pulled no punches on that.
For what it's worth, that was Buddy versus Luna on the topic of 97X is the future of rock and roll, submitted by Droog. If you didn't enjoy this, please blame Droog.
It's time to blame Droog. Oh, Droog. How we blame you. You did it, buddy. Luna's like, yeah, it's time for bed. All right, is there anybody out there that we should send this puppy on to? Let me take a look here real quick.
In a world of high technology and ever-changing
Reboot sending messages with checksums. Oh, very good, Reboot. Thank you very much for the bits. Very cute.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
In a world of fun and fantasy and ever-changing views and computer terminology, Commodore is news. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you. Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore is keeping up with you.
Fantastic Plastics. A channel that's we should raid to? I don't know of them. Is that who that is? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, I have seen them once, I think. All right, we can send it over to Fantastic Plastics. Why not? They've got a very retro-y vibe. All right. We will send it over to them after the credits roll. So, that being said, you have been an absolutely fantastic and wonderful audience tonight. I have been Mr. Kristoff. Thank you all. We'll see you guys later.
A hot shower might help that, son.
Yeah. I think I might cool it with the stream for a while.
Good. I think you've been overdoing it.
That's easy for you to say. You were always one of those
Send
big
it over
guys.
to them after the credits.
Trust me, it's all relative. There'll always be someone bigger than you are. Someone stronger, or better looking, or smarter. Do you really like live streaming? Does it make you feel special?
Well, yeah, if I'm being honest, it does.
You're growing up. Point is that you don't look to other people for your self-esteem. You can earn respect from other people, even admiration or praise, but it won't mean anything to you if you
We'll be
don't
watching
respect
Triple
yourself.
F. I'm looking forward to it.
Good night, buddy.
And do we have some credits tonight? Heck yeah, way to go, Triple F. Droag, Mr. Pones, PPP, she's sleeping, but I'll see her soon. Waters, thank you very much for joining. Mountain Stars, thank you very much for working through the basic stuff tonight. The attempt to make it run better. Jay Hobo, always a pleasure. C64 Television, thank you very much, BT. And Casual, thanks for hanging out and stopping by. Big Ed Mustafa, hope you had a good Latro session tonight. Reboot, thank you very much for the support and the bits. Cherry Bell, always good to see you. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Commodore Chronicles, Adam, always a good time. Thank you. Big Time Big Boy, good to see you too, sir. SWK, good luck getting those heavy AI workloads working for you. Thank you to Casual for the sub today and for the gifted subs. Thank you very much to Triple F and to BT. And for the biddies tonight, Triple F coming in with 300 bits. Thank you, Triple F. So many names because there's so many great people. Reboot, thank you for the bits. I have a feeling that there were more than that. I'm not sure. I think maybe the count's a little off there. Jay Hobo, thank you for the 100 bits. Plenty of channel point redemptions. Yeah, I feel like the count was a little off on that. I'm gonna have to check. Triple F, checking in on the C64, along with C64 Television. Okay, good. I was thinking it might have been a little off. I want to make sure we give everybody credit where credit is due. Triple F making me hydrate. And we did a Buddy versus Luna by Mr. Droag. If you don't like this story, blame Droag. All right, that does it. Let's head over to Fantastic Plastics. Setting up the raid. That target channel has disabled raids, Droag. So, no drastic plastics. If anything else, you can, or Fantastic Plastics. So if anything else, you can go see them at Fantastic Plastics. But yeah, no raids for them. All right, guys. Have a good night. We'll catch you later on. Take care.